Holy crap. Happy Friday, everybody. Holy crap. Thank you, Phantom. I appreciate that. Thank you. Kelt, what's up? Gonna hit your like button on the way in. Finishing up housework and just noticed the time. Thank you for the introduction. How's everybody's day? SRB, what's up? Cassie, hey, Pam. Hello, mamas. Grease just popped on, huh? I like that movie too. John Travolta looks so young in that movie. Of course, he is young. Then it makes you think of Saturday Night Fever. Good stuff. Yeah, that was a great show, SRB. And Kel, yeah, she did an awesome job. She hopped up on panel last night. It was awesome. Thank you. What's up, Punksy? I'm feeling better. Slowly. I'm just getting the it's just all getting out of me. So I still got a little bit of sniffle, but it's on the way out. Not on the way in. CJ, join me. What's up, Kel? Oh, she's such a cutie. I'm doing good, Pam. How are you? Thank you for asking. Yes, Punksy. Punksy's birthday was yesterday. We love you too. Did you see what Phantom did? Yes, the first message. I know. I saw that. I was like, wow, Phantom, thank you. Aw. You guys are so kind to each other. I love it. All right. Well, I'll kind of leave it up to you guys. We can do another night. Did you get watch Russell Brand Union? No, I didn't get to. I came home. I got the mic arm. Thank you again, Trey. I got the mic arm and I spent like an hour trying to figure out how I could set it up so the thing wasn't in front of the camera. So I think since I have tomorrow off, I went ahead and put my old mic stand back up. I figure since I have tomorrow off, I might try and see if there's a different spot I can put my camera. I'm not sure. I even tried looking up other people's setups with their mic arms, and I basically had it in the two spots that everybody else does, but I just can't. I can't get it to like not be more in the way if it's on one side, and then on the other side, I can't get it to reach to me. So that's making me think that I might have to try and figure out a different spot for my camera. So I'm going to use tomorrow's day off to kind of fool around, change stuff around. I might even have to kind of figure out a different setup for the desk or something. So I'll be trying to figure that out. But I'm definitely going to have that mic arm. That thing's awesome. I just couldn't. The one side, it was covering up the coffee sign. And then the other side, it was like way more in the camera. So at least I got tomorrow to try and figure it out, see what I can come up with. Um, let's see. He goes off about it with some great points. Yeah, that dude's awesome. Russell Brand, I love him. He's awesome. I'll be 65. Yeah, I probably can't play it. You're right. I probably can't play it. But I'm glad other people are talking about it, you know? I guess FEMA's going to come help. I was going to let you guys decide. I've been doing the Ohio train derailment chemical disaster all week. I got plenty more that we can go into, but it's Friday night. I'm just going to make it a hangout night, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys. If you guys want me to talk more about this tonight or wait for a few days and we just kind of go over what's kind of going around in the world in the true crime community, we could do that, but it will keep you younger. That's right. But I'll let you guys choose. There's a StreamYard link. If anybody wants to hop up, you're more than welcome. There has been some interesting stuff about Koberger. There's been some interesting things about Murdaugh. A couple other things circulating. And there's a whole bunch of chemical disaster stuff. But I did hear that FEMA is actually going to be coming out there. Let me see. When were they coming out there? Okay, it says, following further discussions with FEMA tonight, this is a half hour ago, they will be deploying federal resources to East Palestine, according to Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. So FEMA will be coming out there to help. That was ridiculous when we heard last night, well, if it's not a tornado or a hurricane, then that doesn't qualify for our assistance. Lavender sour, Phantom. That's an interesting flavor. but I had to start first. Wow. We got a realize will not make 3 times what she loses. Yeah, I heard stuff like, I mean, we can go, if you guys want, we can just kind of go around and see what's been floating around out there, the true crime community, the world. We'll just see where tonight goes. Okay, let's do that. Because, I mean, I was talking to Kib Kitty earlier, and I was like, I mean, this topic is so passionate, or I'm so passionate about this topic, but man, it's starting to like, I'm really starting to get upset because I keep seeing all this BS coming, and I'm just getting upset about it, you know? And then I start talking about it, even at work. I start talking about it, and then the passion just comes out. And then I'm like, damn, I need to settle down. So, shit just bothers me. I can't help it. All right, we're going to go into some breaking all sorts of crazy stuff. So fingers crossed that YouTube plays along tonight and doesn't do the half weird looking videos and jumping around like crazy and all that good stuff. I drink only when I go to casino once or twice a year. Yeah, I haven't even had an actual sip of alcohol for, gosh, over 2 years. I was going to get some wine for my birthday, and then I didn't even think about it. I just forgot. A glass of wine does sound good. I'm going to have to do do a Saturday show sometime where I'm sipping on a couple glasses of wine. I might get too chill, though. I might get too chill. I want to go to a casino, too. I want to just throw in $20 to a slot and see what happens. And if I lose it all, I just walk out. It is. It's so sad. And I'm so scared for everybody. You know, the new picture that they got now of, you know, how that region, it's crazy. It goes all the way to Montana. To frickin' Montana. Look at this. I'm just going to show this real quick. All the way to Montana. I mean, that's the areas that potentially contaminated from this spill. At first it was this purple area at the very beginning. Now it goes all the way up here, all the way down to Texas, Louisiana. It hits Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia. I mean, geez, Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, North Dakota, Wyoming, New Mexico, Colorado. It's crazy. I shall not romance alcohol. No. You drink your coffee, Kel. And you're good. We'll just have our coffee, Kel. We don't need that. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Just to think about. It's got to be so damn scary. Okay. Promises accountability. Okay. Let's just save and face. Okay. There is something here. Let me see. There was a video I came across and it said that, yes, Brian Kohberger's lawyer cleared of conflict. Cleared of conflict. What? There's ethical conflict in Brian Kohberger representation. So there's a couple Banfield episodes that just came out last night. We're going to check them out real quick. I'm surprised, but... And then I did see something about the pay. Yeah, let's just enjoy our coffee. I don't care for whiskey. Mine is schnapps. Alright, let me turn this music down. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Get that crime tape up. Uh-oh. Why is it on mute? Let me get this music down. There we go. All right, now we can play it.
But tonight I'm coming back with some more exclusive material on the Idaho murder. So I hope you will stay through the next ensuing moments. I think this is one of the most important issues that has come across the radar in the Idaho murder case, because I like criminal procedure. I've been, kind of steeped in it for a long time, and I cannot stand when something gets overturned on appeal. I can't stand it because sometimes it's so preventable, right? Especially if you know in advance and you do something about it. And I kind of see something percolating here. The experts know they're having a field day arguing online about this. And so I know it's a really important issue. It has to do with conflict of interest. I know we've talked about it before, but I have some breaking news on this tonight. So the issue has been Brian Kohberger's public defender, Ann Taylor, right? She showed up and walked into court with him the very first time. She's a very accomplished attorney. Holy cow. She's got some real scores under her belt,
she is.
right? So she's good. She's also
very
a leader
accomplished
in the public defender's office. So looked like it was a pretty good match, especially for a case that was important as this.
You got lucky.
Be a death penalty case. I'll repeat, could be a death penalty case. You have to have a star, but you have to have a clean star. Someone who has no conflicts in her past representations. And along came the fact that she had indeed represented the mother of Kara Kernodle, one of the alleged victims of Brian Kohberger, her client, and then two other parents of the victims. Right? So all of a sudden, it's like, it seemed so clear. Well, you cannot have represented the children of parents who are now going to be in that courtroom watching you defend their child's alleged killer. You can't. And yet there's some wiggle room. But with all of the conflagration that happened, it turns out now there has been a meeting. And we have sources close to the prosecution who have told us that Ann Taylor has had a meeting with the judge on this exact issue, the conflict of interest issue. Private meeting, behind closed doors, discussing all of the issues. Likely she was called in to lay out, tell me everything you did with client A, client B, and client C. Tell me everything so that we can exclude the possibility of a conflict. And in this review process, my source has told me that it's been clear. No conflict, according to the judge. So is that it? I mean, Kara Northington, Ben Mogan, Corey Hattrock, all parents of the deceased victims in this case, all had Ann Taylor on their cases, right? So it is such a curious issue. What did she tell the judge? Like, what did she lay out to the judge in order for the judge in this case to say, nothing to see here, no conflict problem? Did she see our interview? Did the judge see our interview with Ann Taylor's previous client, who she dropped on the very day she showed up in that courtroom with her brand new client, Brian Kohberger? Literally dropped her former client, Kara Northington, that's Xana Kernodle's mom.
In a flash.
Dropped her that day.
In a
and they
flash.
were still active. Like it was still an active pending case.
Yep. In a flash.
By the way, Kara Northington had no idea that this had gone on. She had no notification of it, she told us. And
social media.
Did Ann Taylor know about the interview that we conducted on this program with Xana's mom, in which she laid out that she was gobsmacked by all of this, that she had no idea? Thank you for watching.
What?
Go to newsnationnow.com to find news.
Oh, that Xana's mom had no idea. I thought she was talking about the attorney. I'm like, what? All right, there's that one. Now, this is a continuation of this one here. That still makes me say she shouldn't have. Yeah, I know she shouldn't have. It's like when we watched that a long time ago when we first found out, and we watched the interview from that one lawyer up there in Idaho, and he was like, well, what's the conflict? And we're sitting here like, what? And he's like, well, I guess they'd have to tell me what the conflict would be first. I'm like, whoa, is that how they do shit up there? Is that how they do shit?
I know somebody else who gets a little agita when it comes to this. And that's Mark Garagos. And the reason I know Mark Garagos gets agita with it is because he has a lot of high-profile cases in his past. He's
me and
here to
him
help me
didn't
break this
used
all
to
down.
agree,
Of course,
but we
you know
do
him as a
now.
criminal defense attorney. He's the co-host
Especially
of the
about
podcast
this.
Reasonable Doubt with Adam Carolla. So Garagos,
He's with Adam Carolla podcast?
There were two issues
What?
that I found in this whole conflict when it came to Ann Taylor and the three parents. Number one was that they have to be okay with it, and clearly Kara Kernodle is not. But then number two, they have to be notified. And that didn't happen either, at least in Kara Kernodle's case. So I want to get you to weigh in on this news, Mark, that they've had this meeting. They've gone through this review process and no conflict, the judges determined. What are your thoughts?
Well, I sent you the other day, Ashley, a op-ed piece that somebody had done in which they had basically applied here without giving you any credit whatsoever, by the way, and had said really was no ethical conflict. And I couldn't actually disagree more with the analysis. Number one, I think you've pointed out one key thing, which is you can't do this absent a knowing waiver by the clients. And why do I say clients? Both the current client, who is the young man who was accused of these horrific crimes, and the parents of the victims of these crimes. Now, the one part I will take issue with, and you know that I agree with you on gag orders. I always think gag orders have been inverted. We talked about this the other night. Originally, gag orders were instituted in Shepard v. Maxwell, which was F. Lee Bailey's case back in the 50s, which later became the model for the fugitive. But they were originally to protect the defense. It's been perverted. It now is something that harms the defense, in my opinion. But when the lawyer, Ann Taylor, goes into chambers in camera, meaning she and the judge talk privately, I understand that. I've done that many a times. I will tell you when I've done it in many murder cases when a client wants to get on the stand. It may be against my advice. Hypothetically, I might go into chambers with just the client and tell the judge this is against my advice, but it's their choice. So I can understand that. You don't want to violate the attorney-client privilege, or at least let the prosecutor hear it. In this case, I understand that. What I don't understand is how there can be a knowing waiver by the victim's parents, because I just don't think that there is any way possible that there isn't going to be a discussion of that house, the use of drugs, and people going in and out. I just find that entirely too hard to believe. I don't know if the judge said, okay, if we get to that point, then we're going to do further hearings on this and we'll table it. And as of now, you don't plan on doing it. But to my mind, is in play. Your point that is he gets later a 2255 writ habeas corpus, and my lawyer was ineffective because she didn't want there, meaning the house,
Sure.
And drug use and things of that nature.
Effective assistance of counsel. We hear it all the time. It's like, I don't know if it's the number one appellate issue, but yeah, if I had a dime, I'd be on a yacht in America. Yeah, it's the number one. I knew you'd say that. Okay, another piece of breaking news. Yeah, okay, wait one sec, because I'm going to get you to talk about this one. So the sources that we have close to the prosecution have also told us that the prosecutors in this case are actually in favor of having her conflicted out. And I suppose I get that, because who wants to try a case twice? Who wants to do all that work and all those billable hours to the taxpayers of Idaho, and then, a couple years down the pike, after they might get a conviction, have it tossed out only to start all over again and put those families all through that again?
Well, the cynic in me would say, of course they want her out. She's one of the only qualified defenders in Idaho, so I can see that. But at the same time, the prosecutors have a very, I would say, easy way to raise this issue. They want the waivers by the respective clients. There's a U.S. Supreme Court case, I believe it's Wood, that specifically talks about what you have to do in a situation where there is a conflict. It has to be on the record. I don't know if that, and we don't know if that was done already in camera or ex parte. Remember, there's two different ways this could be done. It could be done in camera, which means the public doesn't listen to it, and it can be done ex parte, which means the prosecutor doesn't get in on this. Or it could be a hybrid of the two. But I would be shocked if the prosecutor hasn't at least filed the motion, maybe redacting what they think or what they think they know. But I'm surprised that so far, and I haven't checked the docket, maybe it's been done, that they haven't filed for this, because the U.S. Supreme Court generally counsels that you do this.
Thank you for watching. Go to
Oh, I'm not sure. Every evening, I know, I do too, Kel. It's like the nights that I have off, I'm like, man, I miss everybody. But I get a lot of stuff done. You know, I'm able to, I mean, hell, I was able to spend 3 hours to make that little video for the chemical disaster there. Yeah, that's what it definitely feels like, Kitty. Okay, there's a couple cases we haven't talked about for a while, and these popped up: Athena Strand and Madalena Kojikari. So I'm going to go ahead and check out these two short videos real quick, just to highlight these cases again that we haven't talked about for quite a while. One, they have somebody already arrested in custody, getting charged, and the other, Madalena's parents. Who knows what's going on with that one? It's so sad. So I'm going to check this one out real quick. Madalena Kojikari. Why is it on mute every time?
Rufus, a community is gathering right now.
Only 2
to
likes.
Remember the life of a Charlotte woman killed while riding her bike. Christy Crowder was a beloved was joining us live in Noda, where that is going on. Jane, we're certainly seeing a lot of community support for Crowder.
Yes, Vanessa, just behind me, they're beginning to gather. There in the distance, you can see a little bit of that ghost bike. It's part of the installation in the celebration of life for Christy Crowder. Businesses in this Noda neighborhood so tight-knit, they raised about $30,000 for the family last month in order to help to pay for some of these unexpected.
It doesn't have anything about her parents. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna play this anyway, but this has nothing to do with her parents, but in the description, it's all about it. I'm not sure.
Month after a car struck her in Plaza Midwood. As we mentioned, a celebration of life is getting underway just about right now. WCNC Charlotte's Jane Monreal is joining us live in Noda, where that is going on. Jane, we're certainly seeing a lot of community support for Crowder.
Yes, Vanessa, just behind me, they're beginning to gather. There in the distance,
I don't know what's going on.
A little bit of that ghost bike.
I guess.
In the celebration of life for Christy Crowder. Businesses in this Noda neighborhood so tight-knit, they raised about $30,000 for the family last month in order to help to pay for some of these unexpected expenses, like a funeral. Well, tonight they're focusing on honoring her life.
It's not. It has not.
John Holmes, the organizer for tonight's event, says,
"Watch this whole video. There's no mention of Madalena Kojikari. Just wait.
He's been in touch with the family.
I'm just playing it out of respect for these families here. since I came across this. But yeah, I thought we had an update on Madalena's parents.
Family of Christy Crowder, who died after getting hit by a car in Plaza Midwood back in January.
I've been constantly trying to make sure that they're okay with everything that we've been doing, that it's progressing how they want it to, that every step they've had a say in.
The bike safety advocate says a ghost bike installation usually marks the spot where a bicyclist died. But this installation is at Noda Company's store Plaza. It's because that's where Crowder lived and was active in her community.
They're sad and they're hurt by this whole incident, and they want to make sure that, we honor her in our own specific way. But then there's also people within the Noda community that they loved Christy. They are clearly hurting from this. And events like this, they're as much for the living as they are for those that have passed away.
He also says it serves as an opportunity for those to express their grief and talk about how to prevent it from happening again.
Street safety should become a number one priority. Not a second, not a third.
Well, friends and family of Christy Crowder, as well as the biking community, invited to drop off a note for her or her family.
Yeah, look.
And maybe bring by some sunflowers.
That's crazy. What the heck? I thought we had an update on the parents. Finally. It's been how long? I guess not. Prayers for the family. Look, they even have the picture all... I don't understand. Okay, Athena Strand. Update on this one. Where's the likes on these videos?
The prosecution charges capital murder. They are essentially charging the most serious offense in criminal law in Texas.
Capital murder is what the indictment filed Thursday lays out against Tanner Horner. He's the former FedEx driver accused of killing little Athena Strand.
In general, a capital murder case, because it's so much more serious, because of the finality and the severity of the punishment, these cases tend to take a lot longer to go through the process.
Dallas criminal defense attorney Mike Howard is not affiliated with this case.
The big question then, of course, becomes, is the prosecution going to seek the death penalty?
The Wise County Sheriff told WFAA he is asking the district attorney to seek the death penalty. Police have said they will do the same, but the DA has not yet released any details about potential punishment.
They can seek the death penalty. And if they don't seek the death penalty, then if the person is found guilty, then the automatic punishment is life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Horner was working as a FedEx driver last November when he dropped off a package at Athena Strand's house, a package that was meant for her. He told investigators he accidentally backed into the 7-year-old with his van. Court documents show Horner confessed, telling investigators he abducted and later killed the little girl.
There's always a possibility that the defendant can say, I didn't commit capital murder, it was actually murder, or maybe it was manslaughter. It depends on kind of the nature of the confession.
Horner has a court date set for March 6th. His attorney declined to comment on Friday. In Wise County, I'm Amira Placencia.
All right, and with spring break coming up here, I'm just getting through a few quick videos here real quick, then we're going to chill back. Oh. Okay, something was going on in the background there. Okay. Now with spring break approaching, U.S. State Department warns against travel to parts of Mexico as spring break approaches. And this is from CBS San Diego. I wanted to share this, just kind of put the word out there. We know there's a lot of weird crap going on. I think there is an Elliot Blair update somewhere over the last week. We're just going to kind of be scrolling through tonight. So I wanted to play this real quick. Just take a year break, and then we'll see where we're at,
The U.S. State Department has issued a do not travel advisory. That's its strongest level of warning for 6 out of 32 Mexican states. It's also advising Americans to reconsider traveling to 7 other Mexican states. Our Brian White has more on the dangers south of the border this year and asks a security expert what you can do to stay safe.
That's right. With break right corner, people travel plans to go south. I spoke with will secure about the recent wave of violent crime and how we can stay safe when traveling there.
The real risk is being caught in the collateral damage situation when you've got these shootouts that can happen day or night.
Michael Ballard is Director of Intelligence for Global Guardian, a security firm. He warns of the violence from almost anywhere.
The security services, police in Mexico, they just don't have the resources, the training to really go after and hold the cartels and their leadership accountable for a lot of things.
Now, for anyone who plans on traveling to Tijuana or anywhere in Baja California, as well as other border states, the U.S. State Department is urging Americans to reconsider your travel plans due to escalating crime and cartel violence, and even kidnapping. This also goes for places like Cancun.
You could be just simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. These shootouts, carjackings.
The further south you go, the worse it gets. Shows the 6 areas on the State Department's do not travel to list, including the states of Zacatecas, Sinaloa, and Guerrero, which includes the resort city of Acapulco.
That city has actually been, I think, the murder capital of Mexico for 10 of the last 15 years, something like that.
A wave of violence is also coming on the heels of the arrest in January of a video gun, leader of the Sinaloa cartel and son of El Chapo.
You have these massive responses by the cartels. They hijack vehicles, they set them on fire, they set up roadblocks, they firebomb convenience stores.
If you do plan on visiting any of these areas in Mexico for spring break, Michael's sharing the same advice with us that he gives to clients traveling there for business.
Folks tend to stand out in foreign countries, so you don't necessarily want to be wearing your Rolex all the time, your diamond earrings, etc. So don't make yourself a target, that kind of thing.
I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
The U.S. State Department has issued a do not travel advisory. That's its strongest level of warning for 6 out of 32 Mexican states. It's also advising
it drives me nuts when it does this. I don't understand. It does it so much too. I don't know how many times a show I have to do this. It's ridiculous. All right. So we watched that one. Okay, now there's... Okay. Has anybody heard the 911 call? This is a channel I don't know if I've played any of their videos before. I'm not sure. Does anybody know if it's cool? Harsh Reality. I know I've gotten him from one of your guys' links. I'm not sure. I think I have. Why does nobody talk about Brent Kopaka? Well, we have. I want to hear. Let me go to the channel here. I want to hear what he thinks about Kopaka. So this is Harsh Reality. Whoops. And I'll put the link to the channel in the chat. All right. I want to see what he says about Kohberger. Because ever since that Kim call on the Drunk Turkey show way back when, that's when we started looking him up. Hell, I think I still have some links that I even saved on my favorites list that we can check out again. Yeah, let's see what he says. I'm interested.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. What day is it? Is it Saturday or is it Friday? I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Friday. Anyway, straight into the meat and potatoes. I said today would be all about winding up my coverage on the Idaho 4 case for now. We're not leaving, we're just pausing. And if you want to know why, go and check the video that I did earlier today if you haven't seen it already. That explains everything. But I did say I want to do one video that was just touching on something that's bothered me for a little while. And I'm sure that it's likely bothering you guys as well. And look, it may not have anything to do with it. It may not be connected whatsoever. Just find it hard to say that. I find it hard now. Originally, my stance was quite firmly on the fact that Brent Kopacker was nothing to do with the Idaho 4 case. Nothing whatsoever. But as time has progressed, as time has gone forward, I feel that there is a lot of answers that have been left untouched, if you like. And it would seem that this entire case, this entire story, just went dead. It just died a death. I went onto Google to search it. I'm going to show you this. So this is a Google search of Brent Kopacker, Washington. And you look at that. So this is literally from the 20th of December. Bearing in mind, he was shot. It was what, the 15th of December that he died. And we've got 15th of December, 3 weeks ago, which ties it in with Brian Koberger, not Brent. We've got 20th of December, 22nd of December, 5th of December, nothing about it at all. 24th of November, God knows what that is. October the 12th. But you see my point. This is it. And if we switch over to here and just go to all, so not just news, so go to all, and it's the same old story. It's just nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. And what doesn't sit right with me is this. This, for those of you, I'm sure most of you, 99% of you, will know the story behind this. But this is an, ex-army vet who was in the campus in Washington State University. He's been shot by a SWAT team after losing the plot and threatening to shoot his roommates, barricading himself in. Fired shots, SWAT team responded, shoot him back, and he was sadly killed. But we don't hear anything about it anymore. Nothing was said afterwards. There's been nothing that has delved into what was the catalyst for that. Yes, they've talked about PTSD and how Brent had suffered with severe PTSD for many years, 16 years. But there must have been a catalyst that day. Must have been a catalyst that day. And what do we know about that day? What else was happening? Brian Koberger was traveling across states, heading away with his dad, and he was getting pulled over.
That's what
and he even made reference to this situation himself. He had spoken about it.
Yeah, not Idaho.
So he knew what was going on.
And it was
in
that
his
morning.
car, traveling away with all this stuff on his mind. If he is indeed the man involved in doing all of this thing, he still was tied into what was happening. Maybe he was just checking out the news, seeing whether he would come up on the news. But he was keeping enough of an ear to hear about this, and he mentioned it. Now, did he mention it? Did he mention it to try and make reference to the fact that, oh, you've got this problem over in Moscow, and now you've got this guy who's army vet, and we know that the sheath, the army sheath, or the Marines sheath, was mentioned on social media as well by the Papa Rogers account that was kind of tied to Koberger. That's what a lot of people said, that was his account. Subsequently gone quiet, but Anand Harsh's account has subsequently gone quiet as well. So sure, there's, we can't tie anything into those. They're just accounts that have gone quiet after the arrest and everything. But look, Brent Kopak, what triggered him that day? And for those of you who don't know, if you go onto his Facebook, which you can go onto his Facebook and you can search his posts, and his last post, it posted like it was a map coordinate, a picture of a map and a coordinate, and just random, just something completely random, and people have lost their minds. They're like, well, what was he doing there? What was that all about? I'm not gonna do it because I don't like putting Facebook on here. I don't like Facebook. But I'm telling you, if you go search his name, you can have a look yourself. But was this guy anything to do with this? We hear that he drove an Elantra himself, I believe a silver one. And there was queries early on when they were talking about the Elantra in the footage and whether that was actually white or whether that was silver, because it looked more silver than it looked.
Yeah, I think Kopaka did own a silver Elantra.
White. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot still going on here. There is a lot still going on here. And I wonder if there are small ties in the background. There are things. There are little elements of these two stories that coincide with one another. Or are they truly just ships that passed in the night? I just find it very, very hard to think that if Brian Koberger was planning what he did, again, if he's the guy that he studied and was so interested in all this thing, and we've got this guy who is on the cusp of about to commit this crime himself. Let me know what you think. Again, I was just spitballing. It was bothering me. And I had to say something because originally I'd said I do not believe that there was any connection at all. And this is one of the reasons why I'm out of here.
That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So I did hear something. Yeah. For a semester. And I would have bounced after they, who knows, man? That shit's crazy up there. I did hear something about that person being brought up again. Let me see here. Ooh, this is about Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. This came out yesterday, but I know it's been circulating for a couple days. Where the mom's letter, this is official. We've heard this before in the case, but it's official now. The mom's letter allegedly offers shovel, mentions burial. This was the letter that said burn after reading. So I want to touch on this real quick.
So here's the deal. I see how it can't come out, right? I don't see how it can't come out. It's clearly relevant. I mean, this is a civil lawsuit based on a theory of intentional infliction of emotional distress, that the family of Brian Laundrie knew that their son killed Gabby and withheld information from Gabby's parents to the point of even ghosting them on Facebook, to the point of putting out a press release saying, we hope the search for Miss Petito is successful.
Thank you, SRB.
And this is very relevant to that, because this would show that, yeah, she knew that Brian had killed Gabby and that she was sort of coaching him perhaps on disposing the body. So yeah, it's definitely relevant. And if the Laundrie family wants to say, well, this had nothing to do with the actual murder, this was written months or weeks before, well, then let a judge and a jury sort it out. But to suppress that letter as irrelevant, I don't see how they can do that.
Yeah, and it's our understanding, Dave, that there's no date on the letter. So how exactly could they really prove when it was written? I mean, couldn't the Laundries just say, no, this has nothing to do with anything? I mean, how would they prove it in the end if there's no date?
Well, that's what the hearing would be for. A judge would have to question the parties, would review it, and you look at all the different things to see, for example, Gabby's name is in the letter. The fact that the letter was in Brian's possession when he died, that's sort of peculiar that he would hold on to a letter that was written months before that had nothing to do with this matter. I think that the evidence that we know, there's circumstantial evidence, would point to the fact that it is related to the murder. But if it's not, it's for a judge to decide. And if it's a questionable matter, then it's a jury and let the jury figure it out. But just to...
Yeah, they didn't even answer the phone calls from Gabby's mom and dad. They wouldn't even answer the phone calls. It was ridiculous. Not cool.
Suppress it to not allow it in as irrelevant. I don't think, unless you have something that we don't know, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing that you just said. I mean, if it is an old letter, it's certainly interesting that he had it in the backpack when he went out to the marsh to commit suicide. Do you think that this single piece of evidence, I mean, it keeps coming up in court. Clearly, the Petito's attorney thinks it's very important. But do you think it's enough to show that that there was this pain and suffering, and that the Laundries actually knew that Gabby Petito was dead all along?
I don't think this is enough. I think this is a piece of the puzzle. I think when you combine that with the ghosting on Facebook, I mean, who does that, right? Your son's fiance is missing. This is a girl who lived with the Brian Laundrie parents in their home for a year. And when she's missing, you ghost her parents. And then you put out a press release that is so cold that doesn't refer to Gabby as Gabby. The press release said, we hope the search for Miss Petito is successful. That is cold-blooded. And when you combine all of that with this new bit of evidence, I think that makes for a compelling case for the plaintiffs. And at the very least, I think it is evidence that a jury should see.
Yeah, I've struggled with that since the beginning. That's one of the things that's never made sense to me in terms of,
Yo,
like you
that
said,
picture
the
is
Laundries
crooked as
ignoring the
fuck.
Petitos throughout that process. That's certainly going to be part of this
That
this civil
picture's
trial.
crooked as
One thing that a lot of people ask me, because they get more and more mad when new evidence comes out like this letter, they get more and more upset with the Laundries. And you're the perfect person to ask this since you're a prosecutor. Do you think criminal charges could still be possible, or are they off the table? And remember, according to the Petito attorney, the FBI already had this letter, so they clearly know about it. But do you think we may ever see criminal charges with the parents?
I don't think so, Brian.
No,
I
they
think
can't prove
the
it.
justice that Gabby's parents will get
We
will
know
have
what
to
it
come
meant.
in civil court through this lawsuit.
But they can't
But as
prove
far
it.
as criminal charges, you would need more than a letter. You would have to show
Yeah.
that Brian's parents tried to help him escape, did something to perhaps sanitize the van, tried to hide evidence, tried to destroy evidence. Then you can charge them with tampering with evidence, or you can charge them with accessory after the fact. But to charge them with accessory after the fact, they, number one, would have to know that Brian killed Gabby, and number two, they'd have to actively do something to help cover it up. Just writing a letter like this, to me, is not enough.
No.
Interesting. Yeah, we've got the lawsuit now happening in Florida near where you are, and then there's this other lawsuit happening in Moab, Utah, against the police department there for the way that they handled the stop involving Brian and Gabby. So,
well, my Discord's just for a very small amount, and I don't even, I'll just put it out there. I'm not even interested in all that other, all that other tabs, whatever. It's just for meetings and so mods. It's basically for mods, so mods can post links and stuff. That's it, Kel.
So we'll watch, see how it all. Dave Ehrenberg.
Very small, very private.
I know your name, my longtime buddy. Thanks for coming on tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brian Enton.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Brian Enton. I salute you. That was a weird outro. But yeah, we all know what that letter meant. But yeah. Boyfriend changes story in Jessica Stack's case. I never heard about this case. China slams U.S. over response. So that was a day ago. Let me see. Have you guys heard of Jessica Stacks? Thank you. I appreciate that. I know you're a mod. And we have meetings on Mondays. We just had one a couple weekends ago, or a couple weeks ago. We'll be having one coming up on Monday. Monday mod meeting. Boyfriend changes story in Jessica Stack's case. I don't know. I don't remember that one.
This morning, News Nation continues its missing series, and we want to take a look into the disappearance of a young mother named Jessica Stacks. She's 28 years old and was last seen on January 1st of 2021, somewhere along the Tallahatchie River in Union County, Mississippi. Jessica and her boyfriend at the time were out on a boat, according to police reports, when she reportedly got out of the boat and made her way to the riverbank. It was later on that night where Jessica was then reported missing. Her purse and her car keys were left behind in that boat.
What?
Search and rescue teams have scoured the area around the river in Union County, Mississippi, but still to this day, there has been no sign of Jessica.
You ready?
Jessica's mom, Kathy, helping friends and family release sky lanterns New Year's Day to honor her daughter's memory.
Let this light represent our love and compassion. We will never forget you. There it goes. There it goes.
Also floating candles on the Tallahatchie River, where 28-year-old Jessica Stacks was reportedly last seen January 1st, 2021.
So pretty. It's beautiful.
January
We want
1st?
Jessica Stacks to know that we love her. We miss her. We will never forget her. And we will never stop looking. This is where the boat was supposedly lodged, going into the river.
Stack's boyfriend, 45-year-old Jerry Wayne Baguette, allegedly told police they borrowed a friend's boat, seen in this surveillance video getting gas at 5:30 in the morning. The boat didn't have a motor or oars. They planned to float down the river using a shovel to steer as they hunted for wild game, stranded by the overflowing river.
What?
Jessica reportedly left her phone with a friend so they could call to be picked up later. The police report says the boat began taking on water, so they pulled onto a sandbar to empty the water out. When Jerry got back in, the boat started to move and Jessica got left behind. Later, he couldn't find Jessica. Police searched the river and the area where she allegedly left the boat, finding a coat, part of a boot, a pair of gloves, footprints, but no sign of Jessica.
What?
It just doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
Stack's family says they don't believe the story and they think something else happened to Jessica.
The whole story is just, it was made up. There's no way that she would have been in a raging river, you know, flooded, no paddles in the boat, no motor in the boat. He did something to her, and then they fabricated the whole story of the boat.
They believe the surveillance video of Baguette at the gas station, including the door opening to show a passenger in the truck, was part of an effort to make it look like Jessica was there that morning.
I just think it's a hoax. I don't think that was her in the truck. I don't think, you know, she was ever in the boat.
When News Nation reached out to Jerry by phone for the story, he told us a very different account than what he told police. He denied ever being on a boat with Jessica, saying, "We never rented a boat because neither of us could swim." He said, "I was at work January 1st. The last time I saw Jessica was a few days before then." We reported this information to the sheriff, who said he would take it to the district attorney. But he has said since the interview wasn't with police, he's not sure if it will impact the investigation.
Jessica's mom says police have ignored evidence she's tried to share, and she wants an outside agency to now look into the case.
I just don't know what else. I can't hire no investigator.
Oh,
You
that
know, I
poor
can't hire
mom.
nobody because I ain't got money to hire nobody. But if somebody could see the
That
stuff
poor
that I've
mom.
got, they would know something had happened, and I won't bring us closure. I mean, we deserve closure. We deserve some kind of closure because Jessica didn't just fall off the face of the earth. She didn't just run away, and she damn sure wouldn't have run away from her kids.
Aw.
Heart goes out to that mom. If you have any information on the disappearance of Jessica Stacks, you can contact the Union County Sheriff's Office.
Oh my gosh, I never heard of this one. Does this bread guy have... I don't know. He's basically... Okay, well, was this... Okay, what... This video of him after the gas station... Let me watch this again. I need to hear this again. I'm a little confused as well. This was in... Where's it at? Union County, Mississippi or something? I don't know. I'm going to go back to the beginning again and listen to all this again. This is crazy. Exact Mississippi. Exactly, Cal. That's crazy.
Missing series, and we want to take a look into the disappearance of a young
I
mother
never heard of
named
this
Jessica
one.
Stacks. She's 28 years old and was last seen on January 1st of 2021, somewhere along the Tallahassee.
That's already odd right there, you know? When somebody goes missing on a holiday or the last or first day of the year or birthday, it's always odd. It's January 1st. It's always odd right from the get-go.
Tallahatchie River in Union County, Mississippi. Jessica and her boyfriend at the time were out on a boat, according to police reports, when she reportedly got out of the boat and made her way to the riverbank. It was later on that night where Jessica was then reported missing. Her purse and her car keys were left behind in that boat. Search and rescue teams have scoured the area around the river in Union County, Mississippi, but still to this day, there has been no sign of...
Okay, so if the purse and the car keys were found in the boat, then why was he telling... Why was he telling L.E. that we didn't rent a boat? I was at work. I hadn't seen her for 3 days. And I thought that they said that they gave the phone to a friend. So that way they could call the friend to come get them. I'm already confused. So the phone was found in the boat?
Were out on a boat, according to police reports, when she reportedly got out of the boat and made her way to the riverbank. It was later on that night where Jessica was then reported missing. Her purse and her car keys were left behind in that boat. Search and rescue teams have scoured the area around the river in Union County, Mississippi, but still to this day, there has been no sign of Jessica.
You ready?
Jessica's mom, Kathy, helping friends and family release sky lanterns New Year's Day to honor her daughter's memory.
Let this light represent our love and compassion. We will never forget you.
There it goes. There it goes.
Also floating candles on the Tallahatchie River, where 28-year-old Jessica Stacks was reportedly last seen January 1st, 2021.
So pretty. It's beautiful. We want Jessica Stacks to know that we love her.
You hear the
we
kids?
miss her. We will never forget her. And we will never stop looking. This is where the boat was supposedly lodged, going into the river.
Stack's boyfriend, 45-year-old Jerry Wayne Baguette, allegedly told police they borrowed a friend's boat, seen in the surveillance video getting gas at 5:30 in the morning. The boat didn't have a motor or oar.
Yeah, and it's got a whole bunch of leaves in it and everything.
First, they planned to float down the river using a shovel to steer as they hunted for wild game, stranded by the overflowing river. Jessica reportedly left her phone with a friend so they could call to be picked up later. The police report says the boat began taking on water, so they pulled onto a sandbar to empty the water out. When Jerry got back in, the boat started to move and Jessica got left behind. Later, he couldn't find Jessica.
So if that was the case, why wouldn't you jump out of the boat as a husband and not leave your fucking wife behind?
Jessica. Police searched the river and the
Fuck the boat. Go get your fucking wife.
area where she allegedly left the boat, finding a coat, part of a boot, a pair of gloves, footprints, but no sign of Jessica.
It just doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
Stack's family says they don't believe the story and they think something else happened to Jessica.
The whole story is just, it was made up. There's no way that she would have been in a raging river, you know, flooded, no paddles in the boat, no motor in the boat. He did something to her, and then they fabricated the whole story of the boat.
They believe the surveillance video of Baguette at the gas station, including the door opening to show a passenger in the truck, was part of an effort to make it look like
Whoa.
Jessica was there that morning.
I just think it's a hoax. I don't think that was her in the truck. I don't think, she was ever in the boat.
When News Nation reached out to Jerry by phone for the story, he told us a very different account than what he told police. He denied ever being on a boat with Jessica, saying, "We never rented a boat because neither of us could swim." He said, "I was at work January 1st. The last time I saw Jessica was a few days before then." We reported this information to the sheriff, who said he would take it to the district attorney. But he has said since the interview wasn't with police, he's not sure if it will impact the investigation. Jessica's mom says police have ignored evidence she's tried to share, and she wants an outside agency to now look into the case.
Why wouldn't
I
it?
just don't know if I can't hire an investigator. I can't hire nobody because I ain't got money to hire nobody. But if somebody could see the stuff that I've got, they would know something had happened, and I won't bring us closure. I mean, we deserve closure. We deserve some kind of closure, because Jessica didn't just fall off the face of the earth. She didn't just run away, and she damn sure wouldn't have run away from her kids.
Right.
Heart goes out to that mom. If you have any information on the disappearance of Jessica Stacks, you can contact the Union County Sheriff's Office. The number is on your screen. And if you know of a
Interesting. So she was missing beforehand. She went missing when they were supposedly going to the lake to hunt wild game on a boat with a shovel. The video is from a day ago. I don't know about the other. Here's the link to this if you'd like to have it. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't remember that one. I do not remember that one. But I did want to check it out. I'm gonna keep that one, and we'll have to revisit. We'll have to revisit that one some night. Just see what that one's all about. A shovel. They went. That's how they were gonna steer. Let's see here. Toxic spill in Arizona. Yeah, let me go to that real quick. This is that spill in Arizona. This is crazy. Right, Bruin? I don't like it when they put music on there. Oh boy, here it comes. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And it's going into their vents. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like hard liquor floating in the fucking air as a mist. Oh my gosh, look at that. Holy shit. Do we get a better... in the truck's radio? Guess they were gonna kill... yeah, that's what... steer and kill wild... I don't know. Maybe they could have just, yeah, like stabbed it with the shovel, maybe. Exactly, Bruin. I'm sorry if I'm seeing something like that. I'm turning the fuck around. Caller identified. Oh, hold on a second. Is that you? Type in chat if it's you, because I don't see your picture. And I don't need some dude hopping on. Right? Like Cassie. It's you? Okay. I'm just saying, you know. Cassie knows what Cassie knows what I'm talking about. What's up?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, so those guys were driving through it because the police didn't stop traffic until hundreds of people drove through that. And then
Right.
people were stopped. Some people almost in the cloud were stopped and had to be rerouted. So it was a mess.
Yes.
And then schools closed and big businesses like Raytheon and stuff shut down for a couple days.
Where was it in Arizona? Where was that
It was
at?
in Tucson.
Tucson, huh? Man. I guess it's a common thing. Who knew?
I don't remember it happening down here No.
It's a common thing, I guess.
Just think of this,
like
dude. What's
the thing
driving
in
next
Detroit,
to
that
you
was
on the
2
freeway?
times. Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Or while you're waiting for that train, while you're on the highway, and you're waiting for that train to pass you, and you're parked like 5 feet from it, and there's a whole bunch of people behind you, so there's no way you can escape. If these things are derailing like that, oh man, I don't know. I might just pull off
I
into
think
the
it's gonna
Denny's
start
parking lot for a minute.
running the other way. No, but I think it's gonna keep happening more often.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the faulty rail systems, because I don't know if you remember when we were looking up stuff last night. It goes back to the Trump and the Obama administration, where they kept cutting requirements for rail systems. So I'm sure it's just like the bridges. It's starting to fall apart if these hot boxes don't start notifying stuff. I mean, I heard this other train in the East Palestine that was already down for repairs, but then rushed to get back on the tracks.
I heard that the crew was worried that there were too many cars.
Really?
Because it had, oh man, somewhere I thought I read 120. That can't be right. So I shouldn't have even said it. Bruin, the first responders were a bunch of police officers, and they weren't wearing anything. And they ran right in there to try to pull out the driver, and he was already dead. But they were completely coated with this stuff, right?
They weren't even notified because what's up, Cherry? Because what's up, Kevin Kraft?
Look at that.
Yeah,
Everyone
if you
showed
want
up.
to hop on, you can hop on here. I'll put out a link, Kevin. It's an open panel, buddy. All you got to do is say, "Yo, CJ,"
Yo, CJ.
right? And I'll go like this. I'll cup it up in my hand and I'll just hand it to you. You know.
And he will drop a link. He's some dude.
Come on. Get up here then, man. Anybody else, you're more than welcome. Yeah, so what are they saying? It was faulty brakes, right?
For whom? The one down here in Tucson?
For the East Palestine.
Gosh, guys,
Faulty
I don't know.
brakes.
What did you guys hear?
Drop it like it's hot. Yeah, faulty brakes. That's what I heard. Faulty brakes. They were already getting warnings of and notifications that they were starting to overheat before they even started to flame or catch fire. So, it sounds to me like maybe they're. I don't know. That's a lot of people. I would assume. I don't know how the rail system works, but I would assume there's a station and somebody's in that station monitoring, like a plane in the airport. They're monitoring each traffic, warning signals. Did you get the news clip I sent you? I was saving all of those for the next time I'm hopping in, but let me go to it. The bomb train? Is that the one you're talking about? We knew that they skipped the meeting. They were a bunch of softies.
What are you
They were
talking
afraid. About the Norfolk Southern people not showing up for the town hall meeting or whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
the
they were
public
afraid
meeting.
that
Mhm.
they were gonna have pitchforks and
Yeah, well,
fire. Yeah.
I'm surprised one person didn't show up.
No, man. They don't have to,
No.
right? They don't have to. You know what they're gonna do?
Write the check.
They're gonna blame the crew on the train. They're just gonna say it was the crew's fault,
Mm-hmm.
right?
They had plenty of warnings.
Yeah, but there's more to it than that. It's the company not updating brakes. It's old tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I read a paper that in 2017, they were sued about having bad railroad ties. So there's always something going on with this company.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're used to it. Like that video said, it's already in their budget, these lawsuits. It's already a cost of business, as they say. Let me get to this link real quick from SRB. Bomb train, rail giant Norfolk Southern skips first public meeting on toxic train derailment in Ohio. Let me go to that link. Here we go. Thank you for that.
Where's Kevin?
He's at work.
Oh.
I think he just wants to be up here, but he can't because he's working. I'd love to have you up, man. Is it gonna? It's always starting on mute now. I don't get that. What's up?
.org. I'm Amy Goodman. Hundreds of residents in East Palestine, Ohio, packed into their first town hall meeting Wednesday night after a bomb train carrying hazardous materials derailed there last week, and a so-called controlled burn sent a mushroom cloud of toxic chemicals blended with fire and smoke into the air. The chemicals were released, quote, to air, surface soils, and surface waters. Norfolk Southern backed out of the town hall meeting. EPA Chief Michael Regan's visiting East Palestine today as residents want the incident to be declared a federal emergency. Emily Wright is with us again with River Valley Organizing for an update from Columbiana County, Ohio, a few miles from the derailment and explosion at East Palestine. We spoke to you earlier this week. Emily, can you talk about what happened last night tonight. Norfolk Southern did not come to address the people. What's happening right now? People are terrified as they see thousands of fish, of frogs dead, and yet the authorities are saying the water, the air is safe.
We've had, thank you so much. I just wanted to thank your program. Done. We really appreciate it. Things have been rapidly evolving over the last 48 hours. As you know, Norfolk are out of state. They were not coming to the meeting. They stated employees' safety. They said they made
Oh my gosh,
to our
look at
local
that.
news station a statement
Oh.
that said that they were concerned that residents would basically cause physical harm to their employees, and so they weren't going to come. I have seen or heard one threat physically of violence or anything against Norfolk Southern.
Okay.
What's going on?
You couldn't show up from a Zoom? Okay. So you don't want to be there in person because you're afraid of your safety. I get it. Because there's probably a lot of people that want to kick your fucking ass. But you couldn't. It's in a gymnasium. It's a school. They already went through COVID and have online, you're going to tell me you can't show up in a Zoom. I'm sure they could have set something up. It's at a school.
They were just flipping them off. You know?
You
It's pretty
know?
much flipping them. Oh, you know why they didn't come, dude? Because they didn't want to come to a toxic environment.
Right. Yeah. They
Right.
have
It
to
was
drink
held in
the
the
water.
town.
Mm-hmm. Because then they'd have to stay at a hotel, and then they'd have to bathe in that water. And, no, we can't do that. It sounds like she's saying Norfolk. She might have been. You wouldn't have to worry about your safety if you weren't a bunch. Exactly.
People were angry as the forum kept changing. First, it was a town hall where elected officials were going to be there.
Yeah, that's what I
even from
thought
the
it was.
state,
Town hall.
in federal representation.
But nope.
That questions were going to be answered over.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
A couple-hour period.
This is
that changed to being like an open house with tables where people could come ask questions if they wanted. And with Norfolk Southern being there, a lot of people's questions were answered. We found out over the last 48 hours that there are several cities south of the site.
Thank you for the link,
that
Kip
are
Kitty. We'll go to that one.
experiencing
Oh my
chemicals in
gosh!
their
That's
water, two of which I'm going to pronounce it wrong.
oh my gosh!
One of the chemicals in particular was in Steubenville, Ohio's water. They are an hour south, like it's over 60 miles south of East Palestine. Toronto, Ohio, the same south of them.
I need to
Moundsville, West
screenshot
Virginia,
these.
which is in the Panhandle. They've had pictures of the river turning turquoise from the chemicals. So
Turquoise.
the fallout is really beginning to happen. The instructions were very vague from each city. They basically said they think the levels are low. They think.
They think.
People closer, like around.
No, they're telling people the water's
Palestine, have been
safe.
told to drink bottled water. I fortunately work with a lot of people that have
They've
dealt
been telling people.
with this, and the first thing they told me to do was buy bottled water. When this happened, before even the controlled release.
Yeah.
So residents are understandably angry, upset. Norfolk Southern just came out this morning on our local news program. I apologize. And an employee was interviewed, and we found out that the train that derailed in East Palestine was broke down in Madison, Illinois on February 1st.
Oh.
And they believed the train was broke down because the contents were too heavy that it was carrying. And Norfolk Southern apparently was warned by employees that that train was too heavy and that something like this could happen.
Oh.
So they were having issues with the train anyway.
Oh.
We know the EPA director is coming down today to the site because he wants to encourage that everything's going status quo. But again,
We're going to check into that
like
on
we've
the
said
next
time and time again for almost 2 weeks. We were told only about air, that it was safe. Water, soil, and surface was basically told it was surface wasn't being done, water and soil was, but it's ongoing.
Emily, we
and
have
that
20
people-
seconds. Your final comment.
Whoa.
Yeah, people were let back in their homes. So
Yeah, they were told they were safe. Kid Kitty, if there's a certain timestamp on that video, let me know. And what the subject is. I think it's about 2 hours. So just let me know if there's a certain timestamp. It is all about the money and the politics. That's why they're all downplaying it. The EPA's response is ridiculous. We've tested over so and so and so and so, and we have not found any. Whatever. We watched those videos yesterday. People scraping a stick through the lake, and then all of a sudden the chemicals just start coming out, or people throwing rocks in the river, and then all of a sudden you see it looks like somebody poured motor oil in the frickin' water. It's scary though when you scrape a stick and then the shit comes out. Are you on mute, Kel?
Yeah, dude, I forgot I was up there. I was just watching chat. I'm like, oh yeah.
I was like, damn,
chat.
she's quiet.
Fell asleep, dude. Sorry.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
I
you
didn't.
fell asleep?
No,
I'm not
I
gonna play
didn't.
the audio. Oh. I'm not gonna play the audio, but dang it. Yeah, you can see this. It's crazy. He scrapes it and then it just That is so gross. That is so gross. It looks like somebody poured motor oil in the water. And that's after you scrape it. So the cloud trackers, any updates for today on it going? Emotional distress, yeah. I think it was going back over Lake Erie. I can check the things are different than they were. Everyone is so, yep. Yes, it will. Rainbows, but I see, yeah, I see motor oil, but it's not motor oil. It's these freaking chemicals. Let me see. Thank you for that link, SRB. So you've been catching up on the Koberger stuff, Kelp? That
No,
Ethan
man, not
and
at all.
Zaina were found by their best friend?
Oh, I did hear that part. Mostly
The
I've been
911
researching
call?
this for you. I've been researching
Oh.
about the train.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You have a lot of great information, too. I do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
It's making
These
me
guys
upset.
are great too.
Yeah.
Like we have all these guys contribute. It's really well, except for Phantom, but these guys are awesome.
What do you mean? Phantom sends me links.
Does he? Oh, you never
Yes.
acknowledge him.
Yes, I do too.
Oh, poor guy.
Maybe you're too busy refilling your coffee. That might be it.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Yeah.
the coffee.
It is. It always is. It's the
It
great
has nothing to do with your coffee.
No. So I guess the 911 caller was Ethan and Zane's friend. So I want to hear about this Kelp going to need a head researcher.
It's kind of messed up there, Bruin.
Well, let me go. Let me go to Twitter here real quick and see if I can get an update. But I'm pretty sure that it was kind of it acted really weird. Let me see.
What are we
Real
talking?
time.
Oh yeah, that's sad. Shut
Yeah,
up,
I'm
that's
trying to
creepy.
find this NOAA map. Okay, no, just February 16th is the last one.
Can't we could find today's?
I don't see it. I'm on Twitter,
Hmm.
and I'm not seeing it.
Maybe if we could use the internet instead of Twitter. Let me see.
Yeah, here's this one.
Is that from yesterday?
This is, yeah. This is the one I showed last night. And unfortunately, I can't zoom in any more than that. But basically, it hovers around this area, then it kind of swoops down and around, then comes back up through Akron and Cleveland over Lake Erie. So it's definitely, where the water samples we've been getting in email the last few nights, when it comes to the rainwater and the drinking water, that's where those levels are coming from, is from the area that this cloud swoops down, up and around at the very end of this video. And those are the areas. Right now it's hitting PA and New York and Canada. Then it comes and swoops around down here, then goes back up into Ohio, up to Lake Erie. See right there. Back into Canada. Man, Canada got Toronto is hit a few times. One time there. Another time there. And then the third time as it comes back down and up around. Dang, Toronto got hit 3 times. So did Buffalo.
Okay, so you see how those blue ones are kind of moving down at a slightly diagonal towards the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of it making that tight turn, almost looking like it's coming back, it's all kind of pushing down from Canada at a diagonal into the Atlantic Ocean. I looked it up.
Really?
Because I'm head researcher, dude. Hello?
Wow. Well, do you got a link for me? Can I see
Yeah.
this shit in action?
But it doesn't show like the blob part. It's just showing how clouds are moving. You'd have to
That's
pretend
cool.
that you have to pretend it's a colored blob. All right, I'll
Okay.
email it to you. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So it went into the the friend's name is not being released. It was a good Oh yeah, I don't think it should. For sure. No, just leave these people alone. And I don't think I'm sure he called as soon as he seen what was up. I don't know, who knows. I haven't really watched anything about it.
Just sent it.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, he would get so many unwanted attention. AccuWeather, thank you.
Oh, what's it doing? There we go. Okay, so you have to press play.
Oh, isn't that neat? It shows you the freaking city lights. Ain't that cool? So this is the
Yeah, see how it's not going up anymore? It's coming down.
Oh yeah. So it came back up and hit some kind of jet stream. It's probably where the jet stream is. One of the swoop downs or something. because it looked like it came down and then started to have that force to come back up.
Yeah, if you look at the very
Thank you for that.
beginning, at like 5 o'clock, they are moving up a little bit at 5 o'clock, and then they go and they start being pushed down. So you're right, some weather things coming down from Canada.
Let me see. Because I know the jet stream kind of does like a wave, you know. It's got that up and down. So it's got and that's usually the direction that the wind comes off of Lake Erie, because then Cleveland and East Cleveland and anything east of Cleveland gets hit with a shit ton of lake effect snow in that direction. So that's actually the typical way that those clouds move in that particular area. So
Now it's going over New York.
Is a jet stream thing.
Hey, these guys are talking about the Idaho thing right now. Do you have a video?
Yeah, I have a video. Yeah, and then the therapy about seeing it too, you know. Yeah, let's check out this friend's video here. Benfield. We need some Nancy Grace on a silver platter. I think some of the media is giving enough hints.
We could get the Como guy up.
Why is it showing on mute?
David.
Huh?
Nothing.
What's up?
Nothing.
What? Go ahead.
I said don't play any of that gopher looking dude.
Gopher looking dude.
Cuomo guy.
Who's that?
Yeah, the one I don't like.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay.
He who shall not be named.
A lot of things, not everything.
Ooh, it would be nice to get a live reaction, though, since you're on panel. Maybe I will play one.
Probable cause affidavit,
Do it.
some of the police reporting, and the news conferences, that's given us a small picture. But what we haven't known is what happened prior to the first responders
Right, Bruin?
arriving on the scene. And tonight
There's enough YouTubers out there trying to make a name off themselves out of other people's shit, and it's bad karma.
prior to the first responders arriving on the scene, and tonight I can tell you, you have heard that the 911 call was made from a surviving roommate's cell phone, but we can now tell you who it was who made that call. I'm not going to name the person,
Good.
but it was Ethan's best friend who made the 911 call, and
I
that's
don't
because
even care
it was
about looking
Ethan's
it up.
best friend who made the discovery of Xana and Ethan's bodies. And that is a very tragic and sad detail to report. Up until now, it had been an assumption that there was maybe an unconscious person because it was a guess that there was someone behind the door who wasn't answering a bedroom door. Now we can tell you that it was Ethan's best friend who had been called over that morning and made the discovery and took Ethan's pulse.
Oh, wow.
Also called out
Oh,
to
wow.
get 911 on the phone. It is more than likely that the phone that was used to call 911 was surviving roommate Dylan Mortenson's cell phone. You have probably heard up until now that it was an unconscious person that the dispatch said over the radio, but that's not unusual because when there's confusion, it's standard protocol, according to an article that came out recently in Airmail. Standard protocol, if there's confusion, just to skip the necessities of getting clarity and just dispatch the first responders for an unconscious person, regardless of what the actual situation is. So for anyone getting caught up on an unconscious person, probably not a good idea, given the fact that that's just sort of a standard description for get moving. We need people on the location. This is multiple sources tonight with knowledge of the investigation telling us about who made the discovery of Ethan's body and then, of course, of Xana's body. What I can tell you is who made the discovery of Maddie and Kaylee on the third floor. I'm not sure if it was any of the other kids who were called over. What is interesting about this whole scenario that played out that morning was that kids came over to the home and then 911 was called. So who knows if there was any knowledge of the carnage that had taken place in that home before the kids came over. I mean, it's college, right? It's Sunday morning after a fun Saturday night. And maybe, just maybe, kids were coming over to, get together and go out for a Sunday brunch. But some kids who are unidentified at this time, were a friend who made that discovery and took Ethan's pulse and yelled for them to call 911 and ultimately got on the phone on Dylan Mortensen's phone and talked to the 911 operators. I want to bring in Senior National Enton. Brian has been at the forefront of reporting this story. It's such an uncomfortable tale, but it is one piece of the puzzle that we've in terms of it's so complicated, that scene the morning of the murders.
Yeah, so much of this has been confusing based on the reports we've gotten from police. There've been so many holes and things that they haven't shared. I think beginning with your...
I know, SRB, there's been a ton of stuff being leaked out. And is that why everybody's all up in arms about Banfield or something? I've been so focused on this, the chemical disaster, I haven't even been putting my ears out about this shit recently, so I have no idea. Do you know anything about that, Co? About Banfield getting... No?
Well, you said somebody warned you that he would strike you. So
No,
is he still on YouTube?
That one lawyer, I thought.
Oh, his name's... I thought that was
one,
Banfield. Who's Banfield?
No, this is Banfield, this lady. What was that? The lawyer or something is who somebody warned me about that he'll strike. I thought you were talking about the lawyer I know or whatever that's called.
Yeah, we're talking about two separate things.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. No, that's who I was. I got a message that, hey, just be careful. He'll strike your channel. Okay. I just won't use this shit. I got enough shit already, So
I'm
that's
watching
why
SRB and Bruin.
Okay,
They
so
seem
that's
to know
why
more
she
about what's
got
going on.
That the whole termination. Yeah, I know. I heard that too, SRB. I did
Oh
too.
no, really?
Nate the lawyer. No, that doesn't sound like it. That person. I can't remember the exact name. But it's something to that. Kelt knows who I'm talking about because I think you were the one that was sending them to me, Kelt. But yeah, somebody
Dude, I have
was
no idea.
in the show. Yeah, you do. You send me a lot. Yeah, somebody was in the show and said, "Hey, be careful. I don't want to see your shit get shut down." I was like, "Okay, thank you." I already had scares before, but now I found out I have 0 strikes, so I'm all good. Peter Trago. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, we got so many other videos. We're good.
In terms of why it's at that scene.
I got a couple lawyers on here.
Yeah, so much of this has been confusing based on the reports we've gotten from police. There have been so many holes and things that they haven't shared. I think beginning with your exclusive reporting last week, things started to make a little bit in terms of...
Don't be sorry, Kid Kitty. No, I appreciate you sending the links. There's just some people... I don't know. Maybe just because I'm not up there or something, I don't understand how the whole thing works. But I would just assume, hey, if you want to use content, it's about getting the word out there. It's not about the buck. But I suppose when shit's different for you, maybe it is about the buck and not the word. I don't know. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. But no, don't be sorry about sending me links. I appreciate them.
I think beginning with your exclusive reporting last week, things started to make a little bit more sense in terms of surviving roommate Dylan and the fact that she may have thought that there were noises coming from upstairs, but not necessarily noises that meant that something bad was happening or that a murder was happening. That started to explain why she may have not initially called 911, in the middle of the night. Your exclusive reporting sort of shed light on that. And now I think this sort of continues to, again, put the pieces together now to know that there were people who came to the house that morning. And it would make sense, what you said about the unconscious person, that may have just been a categorization that the 911 call was put under. But certainly tragic, as you said, to think that Ethan's best friend, took the pulse. I mean, it's all just so heartbreaking.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys giving me a heads up, like saying, hey, just be careful, I appreciate that because I don't like to have to restart my streams. What's up, Kel? You sound like you're going to say something.
No, man, that's my dog by the mic.
Oh, hey, Poppy. Let's see here. Names of
She answered you.
Names of Jeffrey Epstein's associates and victims to be unsealed.
Oh, dude, that's messed up. Did you hear about the guy from Disney who was like talking about? Well, he was writing to Epstein about meeting girls, and he was like, "Did you like Snow White or whatever?" Right? He was referring to one of these. Shoot, what's the word? Well, one of the young girls that he was providing for these men. He referred to her as Snow White. And then Epstein's like, well, which princess do you want next? That's gross.
Oh my god.
So gross.
And isn't this crazy? Like the victims and associates are going to be unsealed, which is probably why these people tried to because I don't think he committed suicide. I think the people offed him because they didn't want that stuff getting out. Isn't that interesting that it is going to come out? I'm going to click on this and watch this.
Do it. Click on it. I dare you.
Law and Crime Network. Oh, I clicked on it. Law and Crime Network. Here's the link if you guys would like to sub. I can't believe they're going to unseal this. So is she cooperating? Probably. Her friend's passed away now.
The last batch of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking are set to be unsealed in the near future. It's reported that the documents contain lewd allegations related to 167 of Epstein's associates, victims, and employees. Law and Crime Managing Editor Adam Klasfeld comes on. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So as many of you know, Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier, he was charged with sex trafficking of minors back in 2019. He was found dead in his jail cell while awaiting trial from her parents' suicide. Epstein's longtime associate and partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, she was found guilty in 2021 for sex trafficking of minors and 4 other federal charges, and now serving a 20-year sentence in federal prison. That is the backstory that we know. But a big question we have had is how extensive was Epstein's reach? Who is he connected to? Who exactly knew about and participated in these illegal activities? Who else might have been victimized? Well, there have been batches of documents that have been related to Epstein and Maxwell that have been released to the public over time. But it seems finally the last of it may be coming to light. You see, according to a declaration that was filed last week, the documents include individuals of serious wrongdoing, alleged perpetrators, and at least one public figure. Now, all of the individuals in the filing from last week, they're not named, but all of them are to be revealed when the documents are unsealed. So we may learn some new names relating to this case, new information that we didn't know before, but we're not sure exactly when. So to help make sense of all this, I am joined right now by someone who knows the ins and outs of this case so well, Law and Crime's managing editor, Adam Klasfeld. Adam, it is great to see you. Welcome back to Sidebar.
Thanks again for having me, Jesse. Always a pleasure.
So last week there was this filing of names. They're set to be unsealed. I think it's 167 individuals that are somehow related to the Epstein saga. They're supposedly Epstein associates, perpetrators, victims, employees. First off, what is the number? Is it 167? How many do we know? What do we know about them so far?
So on this chart, it's 167 names. Now they are up to Doe number 187. So it's John and Jane Does. The ones on this chart, there are 167 of them, and they're known as non-objecting Does. So I'm going to get very into the weeds here, Jesse. Basically, they are a compendium of people who are affiliated in the case in some way. Some of them are witnesses. Some of them, as you mentioned, are alleged perpetrators. Some of them were former employees, mostly of Epstein, but also of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Wow.
And so to kind of make sense of them, journalists love charts and we love spreadsheets, right? So basically, once this filing became public, I started putting it on a spreadsheet and try to get the data, try to get the picture of who are we talking about here. For example, more than 30 of them are former Epstein employees. More than 40 of them are witnesses. Sometimes the categories overlap. And what the listeners are probably really looking forward to the number of, and that's the number of perpetrators, just under 20. We're just cementing the numbers. And there's some overlaps. Now, this is a case that, as people who've been listening to your show have seen for a long time, this is a long pending case. The allegations date back to the 1990s. A lot of the folks that we're talking about may have died. We've found several instances in these charts where people who are even accused of being perpetrators have died. So we're crunching into the numbers here. We don't know the identities, but sometimes the identities are pretty clear, but just by the context clues. Some were said to have been witnesses in Maxwell's trial.
Just to jump in for a second, when you say some of them might be clear, are you talking about people that have already publicly come out? I mean, is it people that we have suspected, or is this anything new?
So there will probably be some new information, but to put into perspective, when crunching the numbers here, I looked for any references to this person gave interviews in the media. This person's name was unsealed in court filings. I found almost 70 people, 70 John or Jane Does that fit that description. Some of them testified publicly at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, but they're shielded in court documents. You remember some of the witnesses were testifying anonymously. Some of them may have testified even publicly, but their names are still redacted for whatever reason in court records. So it's a mixed bag here. I imagine that when this process plays out, and let's take a further step back here, this process has been playing out for years. Listeners may remember when Julie K. Brown of the Miami Herald did this open records battle, and an appeals court started unsealing records. This is that case. This is Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell, an old case that settled, and a lot of the docket was under seal. It's starting to emerge, and these are, when we say alleged perpetrators, these are people who are accused mostly by Virginia Giuffre of assisting Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking ring.
Is that why this is coming out, by the way?
Absolutely. This is all dating back to that open records battle in the case filed by Virginia Giuffre and brought to light by Julie K. Brown of the Miami Herald through this open records battle.
So there is a reference to at least one public figure. Now, my first thought is, could it be Prince Andrew? Could it be Alan Dershowitz? Who, two people have both been involved in this case. Could it be somebody else? Any idea who that
this
public
shit's
figure is?
bugging.
And does that mean that there's only one public figure that we're going to hear about?
There are multiple public figures that are referenced in this, and I can get you the number a little bit later. We're still analyzing the data here. We know almost for certain that one of the Does it seems
no
pretty
way.
clear from the context
Uh-uh.
clues is
No
Alan
way.
Dershowitz. Just by the context clue being it alludes to a litigation filed by
No
Virginia
way.
Giuffre that settled
I'm
with
pretty sure he was one of his
Virginia
lawyers.
Giuffre calling the litigation, calling
Okay. I was like,
No.
what?
He's on the list. He's on the list of now being one of the Johns, but he was his lawyer
right.
for the. I think he was in jail for RAPE.
Dude, he is all over these court show programs. News Nation, like all over these platforms. I'm sorry.
Wasn't he part of the OJ test?
Yeah, I think so.
So he's been around. I think so. And he was also Epstein's lawyer when Epstein was tried down in Miami for what he did. And he was found guilty. He got a sweetheart deal where he was only in jail for like 5 hours every night, and then he just would go back to his house.
Yeah, I remember that in Florida. Yeah, it was a slap on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And he was busted straight up. This is Alan Dershowitz. This is who we're talking about. Holy crap. Oh,
Yeah,
probably
probably
Bruin.
Jinx.
You know that. Yeah. You have to prove it. That is nuts.
By the context clue being
Wow.
it alludes to a litigation filed by Virginia Giuffre that settled with Virginia Giuffre calling the litigation, calling the allegations a mistake. We know
And
that from that
it was because of this lady right here. She did a program with 60 Minutes Australia, which is a great 60 Minutes source. They do awesome. I really honestly like them a lot better. Their journalism is on point, and they really do dig into stuff. And it was because of them, because the ones over here in the US wouldn't even touch the story. The Australia
also-
60 Minutes was the one that started it, huh?
She also lives down in Australia now.
Yeah.
But you're right about that it's better.
I love 60 Minutes. Yeah. Like, beginning is what you'll want to. Okay. Yeah, like it was because of them. Like, I've been watching them for a long time just because their journalism is on point. And when I came across this, I was like, wait a minute, this is that Epstein lady. And then and you started here and there. She's like, nobody in the US would even, because they were getting threatened. These magazines were trying to do stories and they were getting threatened from Epstein.
Well, she was the one that took not Edward. Oh, I just lost his name. You know, Prince what's his face? The third one.
That Prince.
Oh my god, it's not Edward.
Yeah.
What's his name? Guys, help me out, please.
Yeah,
Well,
I
anyway,
don't
she
remember.
won the case. Right?
Oh,
She
really?
won the case. His mom kicked him down and he lost all his
Andrew,
military
yes.
stuff. Andrew, thank you.
Chris Andrew, yeah.
He lost well now guys, is he already filed to take her back to court? Or is he only thinking of it? Because I heard something about that.
Yeah, that's when he was like, I don't sweat. I have a
Yeah,
condition where I
had a
don't
condition
sweat.
from the war.
Right.
And he's there sweating.
I don't sweat. I don't know what she's talking about. She never put her hand around me. Yeah, crazy. Sorry, that's a shitty version.
He went all cocky at the end.
I couldn't
Really,
keep it
governor?
up. I couldn't keep it up, you know. It's just
You're like a chimney sweep.
Oh, don't make me get my blow up middle finger balloon out, okay?
Your blow up what?
My blow up middle finger balloon. I will
Oh
turn
my
my
God, that's so sick.
I will turn my camera back on and blow up my
I
middle
bet
finger
you would.
balloon. I would.
Do it.
Do it.
No,
I dare you.
I'm gonna play the rest of this video. That's what I'm gonna do.
Then I would hear you in the background going,
Allegations of mistake. We know that from
British
that
CJ,
context,
yeah.
too, we
I bet,
know that
yeah, I
that
bet he's
refers
sweating
to
right
Alan
now. That's for
Dershowitz.
damn
So
sure.
there are things like that, and I'm sure that there are context clues with other witnesses who stepped forward in Ghislaine
Oh,
Maxwell's
shit.
trial. There are unmistakable references to some of her accusers. So we're kind of piecing out which of the does we can just figure out from the context here. So we know at minimum one of the public figures is Alan Dershowitz.
That's fucking crazy.
And that doesn't
He is
mean
all
that,
over these shows.
there are any new allegations against him. It just
Dre.
means that his name came up unsurprisingly over the course of this litigation.
How important is the release of this in the sense that when it's released and we find out the names, could there be legal repercussions for somebody? Or
Yeah,
is this not going to be
it
the
has
case?
been
Is
a
this
rough
gonna be
week,
just
Bruin,
more of a
seriously.
transparency to the public, we all get a sense of it, or are certain people going to potentially face maybe not even legal repercussions, social repercussions as a result of this?
Right. Well, to give a tantalizing answer, stay tuned, right? We know that this is close to 20 people who have been accused by Virginia Giuffre among these list of does of being perpetrators. Now, some of these does are dead and beyond the reach of any possible repercussion. The great majority of them are still alive, and it's not unthinkable. I mean, think about how the Epstein case or the Ghislaine Maxwell case began. It began with investigative journalism
Say
that
it.
brought
60 Minutes
information
Australia.
to light. That the prosecutors, when they brought this case, said pretty outright that they were assisted by the work of investigative journalism that was putting together these pieces of information. And what a release of documents of this does is it calls attention to it. Now, will prosecutors ultimately take these names, take the information that emerges here, and be able to build a case that would take things beyond a reasonable doubt? That's a bigger lift, and we'll see what happens. But we know from this data set that what is going to emerge is allegations against more than a dozen people.
I have to add, other than the people who might be implicated,
I can't believe that.
victimized
Dershowitz.
in Jeffrey Epstein's scheme, who maybe tried to keep it quiet, and maybe their names are going to come out.
By my initial count of this document,
We could play Guess Who's on the
there
List.
are allegations that
You're slipping.
there are more than 20
Guess who's on the list?
victims named in
You
this
still do
document.
that,
we could play that game.
Sometimes, Ghislaine Maxwell's attorneys object to their designation as victims. Some of these people fit multiple categories. Some are listed as victims and witnesses. But we are going to get a very broad picture of the alleged perpetrators and the alleged victims.
I hope not the
Once
victims.
all of this becomes public.
As you said, stay tuned.
Because they were
Alan Glasgow.
underage. You know what I'm saying?
for having
Like, I don't feel like they should be released either. They were underage when these crimes were taking place. So I don't care if they're an adult now. I hope that their names do not get released, because that's a lot of the reasons why this stuff gets pushed under the rug.
The probable cause said would refer to some of them as children with an Eastern European last name, which was kind of interesting. I
That's
think
weird.
they're trying to prove that he was trafficking young women and children from an Eastern European country.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's why they'll refer to some of them that way.
wow. I wonder if he actually was in the business of purchasing.
Oh gosh, that's sick.
You know, if you're getting
Yeah, well, he'd have to.
if you're getting people from Europe and you're probably going to areas where these people, you've heard of them selling family members and stuff. It's
Oh, dude, you know what I read? I read that the Russian troops, some of them were taking like young boys from Ukraine, like little boys, and selling them. And, you know, selling them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Bruin, I agree with your first guess.
Yeah, it was another business. Blackmail and business, because he could blackmail him as soon as he gets him over there in his you know, rooms with cameras, and then all of a sudden they do something hey man, I got you and Princess Snowflake on cam, bro. On my security camera. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll go ahead and let this one slide then. There's a lot of that business going on. Because it's like, how did he come out from nowhere managing all of these people's money? Like, big time money makers. Just managing their money. That's what his job was. How? Because you knew secrets. How did he start off? Do you know, Kelt? I thought it was he
He
just
really was nobody.
Yeah.
Somehow got into a school, met some guy that kind of did the same thing, so he gave him some money to get started. Now this is weird. I have a theory that perhaps his job was to go what? That his
what
job
Bruin says.
Oh.
Kind of agreeing with you there. I think is where
Oh,
you two are going in the same
Bruin.
direction, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. Exactly. But I think my theory is that Epstein was a go-between between a lot of very wealthy people doing not legal things, right? But if he was the go-between, it's kind of like there wouldn't be a direct connection between the two people on either side that wanted to do something shady, right?
Right.
I think that's part of his thing. And then to socialize in that circle, he found that they really liked if he provided stuff for them. So that's like a side gig, right? Right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That could just be all baloney, but I
It
don't know.
was a
What do you
party
guys
every
think?
time. And that's why
Right.
he got that island, because he was getting too much heat, and what can you do? You can't do nothing. You got security all around there. What could they do? It was his own private. The only thing that they could do is because he couldn't land a plane on it, so they had to have records of the people's names that were on the plane. But once the ones went from land on helicopter over to his island, he didn't have to put shit. So you don't even know who came across on boat or helicopter. And then I think like that little room up there, you know, that little room on top of that hill all by itself, that's all painted weird. Like a little 2-story mini little, it's got like wood door gate doors painted on it, but it's not wood. It's all, you know, like plaster and cement, and it's just got a regular door with a window in the corner of it. 2 stories, very small. It's like, was that the place that all the shit went down? You go off to that little private little fucking area up there at the top of so nobody knows really what's going on. Seclusion.
Everybody knew what was going on. Right?
Well, they knew, but you didn't
but
have
yeah, that
first-hand
was
knowledge. You didn't see them going into a bedroom together.
I'll bet you that was like some really
They just went for a walk.
especially I bet you it was like a themed, I'm imagining it as kind of like a themed room.
Yeah.
Right, and the
Is it-
guys could order a theme.
Yeah, because the fake wood gate doors that were painted on the outside of that building. If anybody has a picture, send it to me. The fake wood gate doors. I mean, the detail was really good. Yeah, I bet it was a themed. You know.
Did I
little-
already tell you guys the
whatever you
Disney
call it.
princess one?
Yeah.
Huh? I did. All right. I forget who I tell it to.
Man, I wonder who, because this guy goes back to the 90s and shit, early 90s. It makes you wonder who
Well,
else.
we know
That's a
there's
long
probably
time.
several presidents on there, or there's
Well,
got to
Bill
be.
Clinton's already been on there. I think that he was on there like between 10 and 20 times. He was on there.
What if
Bill
his
Clinton?
wife's on there?
I don't know.
You know, shh.
Who knows?
Which princess do you want?
There's honestly, there's got to be, because I remember hearing a list of names before. There's got to be a list out there. Because I remember hearing
Yeah,
Bill
there's gotta be.
Gates. I remember hearing Bill Clinton. There was like a bunch of names, very high profile names that were on there. Mind blown to hear. I bet. And I bet it's a lot of celebrity type figures too, where I mean, hell,
Alright.
when we just saw this Alan Dershowitz, it's like, whoa, fucking Alan
Donald Trump,
Dershowitz?
Bill Clinton. Oh, I said it wrong. Kevin Spacey. Wait a minute. Why? Why would he have been on there?
Whoa, Kevin
You know what I mean?
Spacey. Yeah, you
It
know
was
what he's
called
been
the.
in court for.
Yeah, right. So is he providing more than young girls?
Right.
Let's see.
Oh
I'm
my
looking through the
gosh.
list.
Yeah. That's gross to think about.
Chris Tucker. And you said it, Bill Gates. And that's all that's on there. Oh my gosh, astronaut John Glenn.
John Glenn, Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Yeah, those are unexpected ones, huh?
It only gave 5, huh?
That article.
He would
Yeah.
provide anything for money.
Bill Cosby. Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Fantasy Island. That's what it was for everybody. It's a fantasy. Fucking gross.
Dude, the former Prime Minister Tony Blair used to go on it a
That's
lot.
right. Tony Blair was on there too.
Dude,
That's
what if he
right.
was like on it with Prince Andrew? And why did Andrew have to go down for it if, Tony Blair didn't have to go down for it?
I saw,
It's
yeah.
sad.
Tony Blair's out there.
Probably
in the news.
because Prince Andrew has more money.
Bezos was on there? Are you serious?
And that doesn't surprise me. Oh, this doesn't either. Henry Kissinger.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. No. I don't want to say that because it doesn't say he was on the plane. That's a different reference.
Mm.
No. Take that back.
I need to do an Epstein. I wonder when this is all that information's gonna be released. I'm gonna have to plan on doing a show that night. Talk about all that. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be some crazy shit that night. Man. Let me see what else I got on here. New images. Let's see.
There's some people on here that their reputation even outside of this, you can already go, oh yeah, I'm not surprised. Because Woody Allen
Tom
was
Hanks?
on the list.
Woody Allen?
No, please don't tell me Tom Hanks. I don't want to know
What?
anything bad about Tom
Whoa,
Hanks.
2 people saying Tom Hanks possible.
Oh,
Ellen
no.
B. at one. Ellen DeGeneres. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Hillary was on the plane then, right?
I don't know.
And I want Tom Hanks to be on. You gotta
Really?
have somebody in your life that you don't hear something bad about. Don't you want one
Why
person
you
out
like?
there?
What is like Tom Hanks one of your favorite actors or something?
Yeah, don't you remember when we were kids and he came out with Bosom Buddies and stuff? He's cute. And Splash.
No, I never
And Turner
watched
and
those.
Hooch.
No.
Okay, you're too young.
No, I'm not too young. I just never watched them.
Okay, what movies did you like when you were younger?
Back to the Future, Nightmare on Elm Street, Young Guns,
Oh God, Young Guns, that was filmed out here.
Howard the Duck.
Okay, that's silly. Dude, that movie sucked.
It did, but it was badass.
It's
I was
the
so
duck is
amazed.
so creepy. The
I
duck has a
know.
relationship with a human woman.
I know. But she was,
Uh,
Marty McFly's mom, so I was like, "Oh, that's
she
cool."
was
That's
she
why I
was into
watched
it.
it. Yeah, because it had Marty McFly's mom on it, right? And
Getting
that
it down with
duck,
the duck.
I liked that movie because of the artistic value of how they could make a puppet do that.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that was a really good. Like it was more the artistic value. I
It
was
was like a whole Jim
I was in
Henson
shock.
production.
I was in shock because I was like,
It
how do
was.
they make
What if
that
it was
duck
Big
do
Bird? What if it was this Big Bird?
that? You never know.
Oh my god.
Let me see here. China. This is wow. I'm back to 5 days ago now. Carter
Night, Kid Kitty.
re-examined. Good night, Kid Kitty. Thank you for hopping in. Oh, I did want to get to this video last week. This was about these newscasters you may have seen online, but they're not real people. I did want to check that out. I got me a new game I'm gonna be streaming though. I'm not gonna do the. I'm gonna have to. I think I will do like LA Noir sometime on like a Sunday late morning, early afternoon. And I got me a new game. I got me NBA 2K23, so I'm gonna start streaming my basketball games on there. You can see CJ Evil play some hoops. Howard the Duck, yeah. Damn straight. I was like, how do
See?
they make a
I
puppet
know.
do that?
No. I think she was laughing at you. I think, yeah. You agree with me, right? SRB? It's like,
Hey,
dude.
you can hate on me all you want.
Okay, you probably like Star Wars Episode 4
Yes.
too.
I
Freak.
love Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
No, dude, like the Episode 4, 5, and 6. No, wait. It would be Episode 1, 2, and 3.
The only
'Cause remember
Star Wars.
Hey.
The only Star Wars episode I don't like is the one with Jar Jar Binks in it.
Okay, so that's 5.
That shit annoys me. That annoys me.
Yeah,
I wish I could just. I wish I could just
I'm
mute
screwing
him.
it up again.
What?
Mute me?
No, Jar Jar Binks, because I can't stand
Oh.
that voice. That's the only Star
and it
Wars
was
I
kind
don't
of
like.
racist too, dude. Even when I was young, I was like, that's racist.
Yeah,
But you see what I was doing? Because the first 3 that came out was 4, 5, and 6.
yeah.
And then the second ones in the 90s were 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. It would've
And then
been
the last
episode 1.
ones were what? 6, 7, 8. No, shit, I lost my numbers.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch now. I haven't watched them since they switched to Disney.
I'm
I haven't
sorry.
given.
Someone's texting me.
I haven't given them a chance since they switched to Disney. Have you seen those? What do you think about them?
No,
Are you a
I
Star
don't even
Wars
have
fan?
Disney.
Oh,
I liked.
well,
Did
when
you?
Disney
People
bought
didn't
it,
like the movie Solo. Yeah, Disney freaking ruined it. But I liked the movie Solo, but I guess the critics didn't like it.
huh?
Like the hardcore Star Wars people on YouTube are always panning Solo.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not hardcore, obviously, because I haven't seen the other ones, but I mean, I can just imagine it's like any kind of movie these days where it's just a money grab,
Mhm.
really. That's why we got so many fucking Marvel movies out and DC and all these,
Do you think? Sorry.
all these comic book movies. It's like, holy fuck. And they
Do you
all
think
go
people are
together.
getting sick of that?
I mean,
CJ, do you think people are getting sick of that?
you can only rehash so many shit. It's like they were remaking, like there for a while, they were remaking all these movies from the 80s. Pet Cemetery again.
I don't like that.
You know?
Like if they did
Like all of
Breakfast
these.
Club, I'd kill them.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I would go and it's like, it's not even, like, why'd you even do this?
look what
So
SRB
I don't.
wrote.
There's just no. They just ran out of ideas. Please tell me you're not a Ted movie fan. Is that the teddy bear one? I'm not
Yeah.
really into what's his name? Mark Wahlberg. I don't think he can act that much.
Did
The
you
only
like him
movie
in Boogie Nights?
Yeah, I did like him in Boogie Nights, and I did
You know what
that
I did
one
too,
movie
okay.
Fear. That movie Fear where he played a psycho stalker dude. That was pretty crazy.
I haven't seen that
But
one.
other than that, I don't know. I don't It's like The Rock. I don't like movies with The Rock in. I just don't think in my opinion, I don't know.
The Rock always plays The Rock,
It's just there's no
you know?
acting.
Well,
In
he's
my
just playing
opinion.
himself, and he's a likable guy, so he can get away with it, right?
I don't know. If
Well,
I'm watching a
I
fucking
like
movie,
him.
be some,
I dig
I
it,
don't know.
but
I don't know.
I like him somehow. Like maybe like middle-aged women like him.
I don't
There you
know.
go. That's his demographic.
I don't know.
I don't
It's-
know.
I don't know.
You just don't like him.
No, that's not it. Like I liked him when he was in WWE. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? I like that. That was awesome shit. The acting stuff.
I
Like
agree with Bruin. Like Morgan Freeman, he rocks.
yes, he's got a great
I like-
voice too.
Shawshank Redemption is probably one of the
Yeah.
best movies ever made. I would argue it's one of the best movies ever made. What do you
he's
guys
got
think?
He's got a great voice.
Doesn't have a duck in it though. It doesn't have a puppet duck.
Roomy pop candy ass.
What?
Ru-
What?
Rudy.
What's the candy ass part?
Are you talking?
It's it's got to be a reference.
Rowdy Piper. Rowdy Piper.
Rowdy. What? Rowdy. Oh, dude, did you ever go to a WWF, like a live event?
No.
Like in high school, I was really into it, and my school counselor was Ted DiBiase's brother. The multi-million-dollar man. Yeah, they're from the town close to mine. Anyways, so the counselor gave me like third row seats to. Who's Rock?
Said Rock. Thank you.
Oh, Phantom, go
There's
back
no
to
acting.
sleep.
There's no acting.
Go to sleep.
There's no acting.
Go back to sleep.
There's
Roused
no
poo
acting.
candy.
It's like having Elvis on a fucking movie. There's no acting.
Bruin, I love you. Roused poo candy. No, Stock used to say. Who's Stock?
It's Rouse
Mr.
Poo.
Spock used to say Rouse poo candy.
Rouse Poo.
Can I say this? Can I read her stuff out loud? Oh. Fuck my spell shit. Wrong. Wrong.
Rouse Poo.
Who's Rouse Poo?
Rouse Poo candy ass. That sounds like a weird
Dude, you don't know
smell.
candy ass? No, you gotta know candy ass.
That sounds
Everybody.
like a weird smell. Rouse Poo candy ass. The Rock.
But that's so much better.
Oh, okay. Rude.
It's so much
the Poo candy.
Rudy. Who's Rude the Poo?
I'm so confused now.
The Rockies.
Oh my god.
No, he didn't. Come on.
Oh,
Rudy Poo?
Candy ass. I remember him saying candy ass. Damn that
I
kick.
never saw The Rock when he I never saw The Rock when he was a wrestler. I didn't
Really?
No, because I was already out of caring about wrestling.
Yeah.
You just get into like
He was a
the
football
theater.
player.
It's theater. Was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, he was a football
college.
player for the Dolphins. Yeah, in college, and then he played for the Dolphins for a little bit.
No way.
And then,
Did
yeah,
he
and,
get injured and had to
and then
quit?
his family was into wrestling, and so, I think he
his
did get
dad-
injured. I think either he sucked
Oh.
or he got injured. It was one of the two.
Oh. No, he's like third generation, and now his daughter is a wrestler, so
Yeah.
it's fourth generation.
Oh, really? His daughter's a wrestler
Yes,
now.
he
That's
did.
cool. That's a tough business, man, when it comes to the pain management. The pain management. I watched a lot of that. There's a you can even find them on YouTube. It's called oh my gosh, something of the Ring, and I think it's Vice that does these documentaries on them. Oh
On
my
who? Old
gosh.
wrestlers?
No, it's on these like stories. It's something yeah, it does it on like it does one on Chris Benoit, it does one
Oh,
on
he
Eddie
went crazy.
Guerrero, it does one on the plane ride from hell, it does
What's
one
the plane
on
ride from hell?
oh
Buddy
my
Holly.
gosh.
Not but yeah, Buddy Holly would be the plane ride from
No,
hell.
it's a crazy story. It's about like Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect and these
Oh.
flight crew attendants that filed all these lawsuits on them, and it was this
And
crazy
lots of
fucking
cocaine.
yeah, like cocaine and alcohol. And what happened was
Mm.
is they were in like Japan or China or something, and then they did a show, and they were waiting for their plane to take off, and they had to sit on the tarmac or whatever for like 13 fucking hours. And so they
Ew.
just kept drinking all this alcohol while they were waiting for the plane to take off. And next thing you know, once the plane took off, it was fucking crazy ass fighting, partying, fucking just crazy ass shit going on. And there was even a fight where I think Ric Flair slammed Mr. Perfect up against the door to the airplane, and everybody was afraid that the fucking door was gonna fly off the plane and shit. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. That's
Sounds
it
like
right
a
there.
Motley Crue going on a plane.
Yeah, it
You
was
know?
crazy, but they have like real probably wrestlers you might not even heard of that just it talks about like the serious and the crazy and the fun. So if you're
Mhm.
a wrestling, if you ever enjoyed wrestling, definitely YouTube. You can find the full episodes on there. It's a little tough, but look up Dark Side of the Ring. I mean, they have maybe 7 or 8 of them for wrestling, but they do Dark Side of this, Dark Side of that. That's their programming. It's just different topics.
Too bad we couldn't watch those.
I think it's
And
Vice.
it wouldn't be fair to the channel, but it'd be
No,
fun
I
to
would
watch it
probably.
together.
I'd probably get struck for that for
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
The Stretch Armstrong dolls.
Oh, Andre the
Andre the
Giant was
Giant
really good.
version?
Princess
Wow,
Bride,
that's
dude.
cool. Jeez,
Cherry.
I bet that's
Cherry
worth some
squared.
money. I bet
Maybe.
that's worth some money. Hell yeah.
They have to be
That-
not played with though. Like you have
Shit.
to get
Yeah. I mean, even
Yeah.
if they are, there's probably not that
Maybe.
many out there. I had some original Ninja Turtles, and my dumbass shot him with a BB gun.
It sounds like something you would do.
Fucking yeah.
I mean, what
Huh?
were you weren't thinking as a kid like, dude,
I had a
this might be worth something
Michelangelo
more.
and a Raphael, huh?
Yeah. Did you have a Howard the Duck?
No. No, I
No.
didn't have a Howard the Duck. I did have a Mr. T doll from the A-Team. Pity the Fool.
Mm. That's
Had
the
a,
80s.
yeah, he had like a purple suede vest, with no shirt underneath it, and he had all these gold
Didn't
these
he
gold
was in
chains
one of the
hanging off his
Rocky
neck.
movies? Wasn't he in one of the Rocky
Yeah,
movies?
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy.
Mr. T. I carried that thing all over the place too, Mr. T.
Yeah. Do you still have it in your bedroom?
No. I don't remember the last time I seen that thing.
Like, Mom, do you still have my
But I
toys?
remember that, yeah. I would always carry that, and then I had my little case that carried my 8 cassette tapes.
Nice.
Yeah, because I had to have my music with me, and my tape player. Oh,
You
another
know what I
text.
miss? Yeah, I'm popular. Do you know, shit. I wish I still had my Red Rider sled, like the old-fashioned kind. They're like wood and metal, and you go down the hill, and if you fly off, it hits you in the head.
Yeah, I
cuts
broke
you
my
off.
arm on one of those.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I slammed into a snowbank, and my arm fucking broke in half because of the damn
Could you
steering.
hear it?
Yeah.
Did you? Was
Yeah.
it your shooting hand?
It was. Yeah. It was my right hand.
Oh, dude, you're a right-hand shooter. Can
Yeah.
you dribble well with both hands?
Oh yeah.
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 All right. I'll believe you for now.
Oh yeah.
I was a lefty. I'm a lefty shooter.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah.
that had to be hard to guard a little bit.
See, it throws them off too because I'm mostly
Not
dribbling
the jump shots.
right-handed.
Yeah. Not the jump
But I'm
shots, but the
mostly
layups. That'd be tough.
well, unless you're good taking it from both sides.
I don't know. I was a good defender, and I don't know. Somebody coming at me with a layup on the left,
You could
I don't
adapt to it. What were you
well,
doing down there
yeah.
at the low post anyways?
You would have to. Well, I wouldn't, But if you're out
You
at the
just happened to
3
be
and then
there.
you're out at the 3 and then you want to try and cut in,
Yeah.
because all the
Someone,
because
big guy's
everybody
gonna
else is on
step
the
into
other
the
side
key and shut you
of the
down.
key.
Just slap
No,
the ball.
everybody else is
I
on
can.
the other key.
I have
Other
a
side of the
total
key.
visual of you being just slamming it down.
I slap people a lot. They got mad at me.
Yeah, that's only a
Mhm.
T.
Yeah, I harassed people when I guarded them because I knew if I
You
could
were
take
a
them out. Yeah, I knew if I could take
you were
them
a
out
shit
mentally.
ton.
If
Yeah.
I could take them out mentally, then the physical game would go away. I had to attack your mind first. Then I attacked.
I guess. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. I remember some people
I
doing
would
stuff
get your
like that.
mind off the game. I would slap the shit out of you. I'd fucking bump you, elbow you. I'd harass your ass. I would be a
Here's the
pest.
stuff we had. We
And
played
it
this
would
one
totally
team down in Detroit, and those girls would grow their nails out really long, and they would they scratched the hell out of us. It was really bad. I'm like, you guys are so much better than us. You don't need to hurt us. They were just, we sucked, my first year playing. You're scoring for the other side and stuff.
Huh. I never had to deal with that. It was just I just didn't like guarding people that sweated like fucking crazy.
Phantom.
'Cause it
Barbie
was
was
just
hot.
So tell what
Phantom.
8 cassettes you have.
Oh yeah.
I had Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember.
Okay, guys, what else did
It
he
wasn't
have?
full. It wasn't full. I didn't have all
Did
8
you have
cassette slots
DJ
filled up.
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince?
No. I had gosh, I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to think of the
I know I
early. Did
had
you have
Bon
any
Jovi
grunge?
I had Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet, Metallica Self-Title, or the Black Album, whichever you call it. I had that one. I had Guns N' Roses. I had
Nice. Nirvana?
Yes,
Are
I
you
had.
still
Yeah, that
Pearl Jam?
I had Bleach though. The first Nirvana I had was Bleach.
Yeah, I had
Um,
Nevermind and then Bleach. Did you get
yeah.
Pearl Jam?
Well, my cousin, he was from Seattle, and he would come visit every summer, and he would be the one introducing me to like REM and Sir Mix-a-Lot and all these people before anybody else would hear about them. So
Cool.
I always that's how I got the Bleach album first. I came across Bleach was because of him. He brought it over, and that's around the same time he introduced me to REM before they got popular. I don't think I had REM cassette though. I'm trying
Good night, SRB.
Good night, SRB. Thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging out.
I remember
this-
Quiet Riot. That's more like the 80s.
No, I wasn't into that. Quiet Riot
You were
shit.
because you were a wee little boy.
I love Motley Crue. Motley Crue is one of my favorites.
I saw those guys in concert
Oh, I bet that
just
was
like
amazing.
a few months ago. No, dude. It was the first time I've been to a concert where I walked out.
What?
Really. The sound was so bad, right? So Poison opened up. And actually, oh my god, I forget her name. Joan Jett. Joan Jett opened for him. And I'm like walking in, I'm like, oh, it sounds pretty bad, but okay, give it a shot. Poison comes on. you can see he's putting on a great show, but you can't even tell what song he's singing. And you're like, they stop and he's talking, and we
What?
can't tell. Yeah, right, exactly. So I said, well, maybe it was just somebody messed up the sound for that band. So Motley Crue comes on. You can't tell what song they're singing, other than the fact that you'd catch like a little bit of the beat, you know?
Yeah.
And so halfway through, we walked around to the other side of the stadium to see if it was better over there. Nope. So by the time Def Leppard comes on, I'm like, I gotta go. Because that was the band I came to see. I really wanted to see Def Leppard. And
Yeah, I
the
like Def
sound was so
Leppard
bad.
too.
I left. I just left. It was heartbreaking, you know? And now I'm afraid to go spend another $300, $400 to go see a band in the same stadium, because what if they suck? Right?
Huh. Well,
That was a
Phantom.
stupid story.
Phantom. No, it's not. No, it's not. Phantom said. Where'd it go? Phantom.
Did you get
went
to
to
see
a
him?
Crew concert?
But when? Did you see this year's tour?
Is it why? So it's the singing. It's not necessarily the playing.
No, it was the music. The
It's-
music was
oh, the
off.
whole music.
Everything was off.
Whoa, no
It was
way.
really bad. And I looked it up, and really it was the people from our state that were complaining. Other states were like, hey, it was fine. So what if it was the stadium? What if it just has bad acoustics?
Oh, that could be too. Like it
Yeah, because I saw
echoed.
Paul McCartney, but he was at the baseball field, which is open,
Yeah,
right?
the Beatles
And he
rock.
sounded great. Yeah, I saw Paul McCartney. We might go see Ringo Starr, because, dude, they're ancient. Who knows if you'll ever see him again? Yeah.
That'd be so cool. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised McCartney's still kicking it, man. The
He's
Beatles
still
just came
touring.
out with a new song a couple, like a 2 months ago. Were you
Yeah.
in the shows when I showed that new song they came
Yeah,
out with?
that's how I knew they did that remix too.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a cool little song they got. That's brand new. If you guys don't know, just look up the Beatles on YouTube, go to their page, and it was a new song they put out like a month or two ago. So fucking cool. It's like that Free as a Bird song that they made back in the 90s and then had a music video to go with it. The music video, look that song up too. The music video is so cool. Free as a Bird. Right? That's what it's called, right? Free as a Bird, I think.
I don't know.
I think
I don't
so.
remember its name.
Yeah, Free as a Bird.
Did you ever see Foo Fighters?
I want to.
Dude, you know what sucks? We didn't get to see him before the drummer died.
I know. I wanted to too. I was actually going to try and go this summer. Yeah. I didn't like when all that stuff with Nirvana happened. When I heard Dave Grohl had a band back then, I was like, fuck you.
Really? I kind of thought it was
I
arrogant that he played every instrument on his first album.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little arrogant, you know? But I like him. He's a cool
Yeah.
guy.
No, I didn't even
I don't
I
wanna-
refuse. Huh?
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go.
I was
I
just
forgot what I
gonna
was gonna
say,
say.
I refused to listen to their music until like 99, 2000.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's because I watched a documentary on Dave Grohl about the band and the creating of it. And when I watched the interview and he was talking about it, and he was like, what the fuck else was I supposed to do? My best friend just committed suicide. My roommate just committed suicide. My band member
Oh, shit.
just committed suicide. And all I wanted to do was play music, and I was stuck in my room by myself the whole time. So why wouldn't I pick up different instruments and start making music just to cope?
So did you agree with that, or did that make you upset?
No, then I was like, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. Because back then I thought it was just like, wow, the dude just wants to be fucking money grabbing out on tour and shit. Your dude just,
yeah.
I was thinking, but no, I totally get it. Like, that's your craft. That's your passion. That's what you're
I
good
think
at.
it was also his kind of like therapy too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, therapy. I totally
But you know
see
what?
where you
He was so close to his drummer, and I
Yeah.
feel really bad that I can't. As soon as someone says his name, I'll go, yeah. You know the drummer that
Oh
passed.
yeah, Taylor Hawkins. Yeah.
Thank you.
He
Did you
almost
see it?
passed
Well,
away
that's his-
before. because of a
Yeah.
heroin overdose.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I
Two
don't want you to
things.
die. Yeah.
Well, dude, he has little kids.
Yeah.
He has little kids,
His
and then
son came up and
did
played.
you see him? He won an
Yeah.
award for that too. That was good.
It
That was
was
pretty cool
good.
to see
Yeah. I
that.
was like, wow,
Yeah.
is that who they're going to have play now? Like,
He's
seriously.
just a teenager.
I
But
know.
the look
But he will.
on girl's face, and he's like tearing up and stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, there's so much emotion there. What are these guys saying? Bruin went to Metallica 3 times. They're touring this year.
Wow.
That's cool. I saw Bare Naked Ladies while I was
When you were pregnant,
I
that's
was-
crazy. My son
Yeah,
still
never
loves them.
That's so cool. He probably felt it inside you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, dude, they
It's
say
like-
play like classical music for your baby, and Bruin's out there playing Metallica.
My mom was eating tacos, so I love tacos.
Freak.
I saw Metallica twice in Vancouver.
You like Taco Bell? You like Taco Bell? It's not real taco.
Not really.
That's
Not
gross.
really. Not
Gotta
really.
go to Beto's.
If I love real tacos, the fast food tacos, it's
Gross.
okay. But yeah, it's a lot of filler shit, I want some homemade, where you got to chop up the lettuce and the tomatoes and the cheese and all the toppings and the sour cream and
Hungry.
the
Stop.
sauce. Yes, I know. Yeah, it does
Dude,
sound good.
I'm gonna hang up. Gotta go.
Well,
Gotta go eat.
If you gotta go, you gotta go.
No, man, I'm talking about tacos. and- You're
I
gonna have
was
your
in an
cooking show.
alcohol and drug. I wish I could have a cooking show. You know how expensive that would be right now, though.
Man, you can't even set up a mic. What are you?
Shit. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to figure out a different way. I think I'm gonna have to have my camera coming straight towards me, but it's gonna. I don't know. The
Hey.
camera's gonna look down on me a little bit. I think is what I'm gonna have to do.
You're gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be awesome. And if it's
Yeah.
not, you'll tweak it.
Hey, I got a day and a half to get it set up because I won't be back on till probably Sunday.
Oh,
I might
wow,
get on
Jerry.
Sunday morning, but
How
my
did-
mom are a strawberry pie every day homemade. Wow,
Nice.
a strawberry pie every day homemade. That sounds so
Good night,
good.
Bruin. Good night, Bruin. It was fun
Yeah,
today.
thank you. Appreciate it. I have to go make a phone call. Yeah. Have an awesome night. You too. What's up, Blue? I'm not. The call-in shit's real buggy, so I haven't even put it on. Just do an open panel. I think Dre was trying to call in a couple nights ago and it wasn't even working, and I had the thing right up and everything. It said something like, I think somebody called in and it said like the number wasn't available anymore or something. I'm like, what? It's my number for good. I don't understand why it would. I don't know. A lot of this stuff's been buggy. YouTube, social medias, any of these. Fuck up. YouTube, that half
Okay.
video shit was annoying.
You've been on for 3 hours.
Yeah, I have.
Your quarter is about to expire.
Nope. Let me see here.
True story. Put a dime in. Hurry.
Let's see. We got a new video to check out. There's been a couple things that have came out here.
He's still going, guys. He's still going.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep going till there's like 3 people in here.
No.
Why not?
I'll be ending it. No, I'll be ending it here soon.
What are you trying to say?
What do you mean? I'm not trying to say anything.
You just did. You said something. So what was
Hey.
the meaning of what you said? What?
Have you heard about this fake termination letter? Do you know anything about it? Do you know anybody that was talking about it? I only see one person talking about it.
I think I've
JLR.
only heard about it. Okay. I think I only heard about it in here.
Okay. I do want to check out this video real quick. It's about here. I'll put the channel up there. It's JLR. This is in regards to the fake letter. when it comes to the termination letter. So we'll check this out real quick. I'm gonna be ending the show here. If you want to join the
Jonathan
Sunday
Lee Riches
night,
investigates.
if you want to join Sunday night, you're more than welcome. We're at the 3-hour mark. I'll be ending it here shortly. We're gonna watch this video here, conversate for a minute, then I'll be shutting it down. But yeah, if you want to hop in, I don't know if I'm going to be streaming Monday, tomorrow or Monday. Probably not tomorrow because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, working on the channel, the store, a lot of different things for the channel and stuff. I'm going to be working on Sunday, late morning, early afternoon. I might get on and kind of do some more catch up, or maybe talk about the chemical disaster. But I'll for sure be on Sunday night at 7 o'clock Central. So if you want to hop in, and if there's something you got to say or you want to talk about Go Blue, go ahead and join us then, or any night at 7 o'clock Tuesday through Friday, or Sunday.
I am covering the Moscow, Idaho case. Let's talk about the latest news reports out reporting that Bryan Kohberger was terminated from his job. A couple news agencies that I've seen, News Nation and the New York Times, have been reporting Bryan Kohberger was terminated from his job and reporting a list of a chain of events that led up to Bryan Kohberger's termination from Washington State University. I digged in deep on these reports because they're using sources in these articles and sources in these reports. New York Times, News Nation. But let's talk about New York Times, right? I'm going to share with you, we're going to run down the report that the New York Times did. But I want you to focus in this rundown.
Oh, shit. I thought it was sharing
at the very end.
Isn't
the
it?
Back of the
Oh,
article,
shit. 1 second.
At
My bad.
the very end. And then we
Can
are
you
going
hear
to
it?
discuss. Check it out. So this report here is coming from the new.
Could you hear that, Kel? Could you guys hear it? Can't see video. Could you guys hear the
Yes,
audio?
we
Though?
we could hear it, but not see it.
Okay, my bad. I thought it was already sharing on the
New York Times. University investigated Idaho murder suspect's behavior around the time of the killings. Bryan Kohberger had a verbal altercation with a professor and was investigated over his behavior around female students before he was charged in 4 murders. And this report was written by Mike Baker and Nicholas Bogle Burrows. The PhD student charged with murdering 4 University of Idaho undergraduates displayed such troubling behavior in the weeks around the killings that his university investigated his conduct around women, counseled him over a verbal altercation with a professor, and ultimately fired him from his job as a teaching assistant, according to interviews and a university record. Less than 2 weeks before the killings in November, the PhD student Bryan Kohberger was called to a meeting with faculty members to discuss growing concerns about his behavior, according to the record. That they don't show, by the way. A timeline the university prepared in justifying its decision to terminate him. The meeting was part of a series of discussions over Mr. Kohberger's conduct during his criminology studies at Washington State University, which lies about 7 miles west of the University of Idaho. The faculty's concern with Mr. Kohberger grew in the weeks after the November 13th killings, though he had not yet been identified as a suspect. Mr. Kohberger, from his teaching role in December, shortly before his arrest, according to 3 people familiar with his time at the university, in a former letter to Mr. Kohberger informing him that he had failed to meet the conditions required to maintain his funding under the program. So they're using 3 people familiar, they don't name, and then this letter record. The faculty made the decisions at the department's end-of-year meeting in December, during which professors were also told that some female students reported that Mr. Kohberger had made them feel uncomfortable. In one of those instances, Mr. Kohberger was accused of following a female student to her car. according to 2 people familiar with the situation who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the case. So there you go. There's an accusation, but hey, you can't name the source. Seems like it's a pattern here. In the case of the female students, the university investigation did not find Mr. Kohlberger guilty of any wrongdoing. 2 people said. Doesn't name the 2 people. It was other matters that prompted the decision to eliminate his funding and remove him from the teaching job. That decision, they said, who said, because you didn't say who said, was based on his unsatisfactory performance as a teaching assistant, including his failure to meet the norms of professional behavior in his interactions with the faculty. Mr. Kohlberger began having troubles about a month into the semester, his first at Washington State. He had an altercation on September 23rd with John Schneider, the WSU professor he was assisting, according to the termination letter, a copy which was obtained by the New York Times. A termination letter. Then on November 2nd, department leaders met with Mr. Kohlberger to discuss an improvement plan. The letter recounts. 11 days later, the 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death overnight in a home just off campus in Moscow, Idaho. The termination document, officials described a second altercation that Mr. Kohlberger had with a professor after the killings. On December 9th, later that month, the department decided to remove him from his position as a teaching assistant, cutting off his pay and saying that he had not made progress regarding professionalism. Phil Wheeler, a vice president and spokesman for WSU, said a federal student privacy law prohibited him from commenting in detail on Mr. Kohlberger's history with the university. He said only that Mr. Kohlberger was no longer enrolled at the university. Mr. Kohlberger's, you see how they spin this in? They use this report and then they contact a official at WSU to confirm that Brian doesn't work for the university anymore. Mr. Kohlberger is being held in jail after being charged with 4 counts of murder. He said through a lawyer that he looks forward to being exonerated. The Times previously reported that students had complained about Mr. Kohlberger's harsh grading to his teaching assistant role, resulting in classroom discussion, in which he sought to defend the feedback he provided to the students. Let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Records show that after the initial altercation with the professor on September 23rd, Mr. Kohlberger met with university officials to discuss the norms of professional behavior. By October 21st, a professor emailed him about the ways in which you have failed to meet your expectations as a TA thus far in the semester. Some of the details of Mr. Kohlberger's troubles and eventual firing was first posted online by an Arkansas woman who has closely followed the case. And when you click on here, they bring to this woman. This woman here goes by Giggy, and she comes up with this like detailed timeline
or Gigi
on her YouTube channel. This woman here.
It's
so
Gigi.
They're using this woman here as the source of this firing, where she talks about a letter, a termination. Many unnamed sources in this article. And then when they do reveal a source, they claim the person that first put it out there, the termination letter, was a woman from Arkansas. And they are referring it to this woman here. So this woman has been around, I've noticed.
What?
Since
This
the
tree here.
But she makes some very outlandish, bizarre.
I thought a picture
claims
was coming
about things. For instance, this.
I'm really just making this video so that I can use the hashtag that I'm asking somebody who has somebody in the FBI to just keep up with, because I did make a short. This stuff really matters to me, because I know this is going to go on my page. I'm going to make sure that I'm clear.
Huh?
First of all, if you're seeing this video, oh my God, okay, grandbaby's got ice cream.
No.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make sure you use the hashtag. If you have a contact inside the FBI, this is, I've been holding back. really pressing in on this because the video only has a few views, and this man almost died, and he's sharing his near-death experience.
What?
And in my heart, I wanted to protect him, but the stuff is just lining up too much. Trifolium Girl, when I watched your video talking about American Psycho, about the mercy stuff, about the obsession, about the OCD, about how he fits that profile.
What?
And then I go back to Brian Koberger's uncle's video of his near-death experience. It could be absolutely wrong.
What?
100%. But what if?
Right?
I don't know how to better explain
What
it
the fuck
than to
is
tell
this?
you that
Is
she's
she
got a red
acting
tree
or serious?
She shared an extreme amount of information and analysis on her tie to Brian Koberger's uncle's near-death experience.
What?
And some things that are referenced in his video. The reason I held back telling you is because this is not Brian Koberger. This is another human who almost died and did not. And it is important to
What?
humanity that you keep that in mind before you find this video. But because it is so, I'm shaking. Because it goes right in line with what DM heard. It's okay. I'm going to help you. Trifolium Girl, the video that the girls made with the video where the girls have made the American Psycho Patrick reference. I'm going to tell you my source before it even airs. And my sources are Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle.
Oh, is she a psychic?
She's actually saying that the victims are the source. I don't believe.
Oh, so maybe she is a psychic. What the fuck was she talking about? I'm so confused right now.
She, I don't know. What do you think, Cherry? I thought she was a psychic, the way she was talking. What do you think?
But what was she saying? I got lost into the
something
chaos.
about what was the near-death experience
of
the uncle? Yeah. So, and was it the uncle who did the killing? I don't know.
What?
Is that what she's implying? Is she implying the uncle that had a near-death experience was the real killer? Is that what she's implying? Okay. No.
And then she said something about the statement made that DM said a male voice heard after crying and whimpering was, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." So what
And
does
that
that
was
have
Brian.
to do?
That was Brian's voice.
Yeah. So
okay,
what,
wait though. But this
what-
dude that has like a dozen media hats, this guy, listen, in the beginning, he's reading the article trying to disprove that article, right? And then he jumps over to this. He goes, "Oh, it's from a woman in Arkansas." And then he jumps over to this lady's video and she's behaving this way, but she doesn't mention anything about him being terminated. Like, is he implying he was like implying that this lady's the source of Brian being
the
terminated?
termination letter? Right.
Right. So what? And then he just like quick jumps to this. I don't get it.
I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm lost. I guess I'll let the rest of this play out and see, but I don't know. I feel like if I'd watch it again, I'd be just as fucking lost. So I'm not even gonna watch it again.
Have a cup of coffee. She probably makes great sense.
I don't know.
Kernodle.
It's something I'm gonna have to replay a few times, but not right now.
She's actually saying that the victims are the source. I don't believe the termination letter. I don't believe this report at all. Lately, since the gag order has been in place, and I've touched about this on many videos, that these news agencies seem to just come out with stories and bombshell stories about stuff that we didn't know based off anonymous or sketchy sources.
I see what he's saying.
I have a problem with that. Me, personally, I have a problem with that because I think it muddies the water. What's your thoughts? But, I'm me. Who am I to have a problem with that? What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on these reports that have been coming out within the last couple of weeks, particularly from News Nation, New York Times, there was another former New York Times reporter, Howard Blum, that came out with this story that the FBI said wasn't true about Brian. FBI losing track of Brian. He was a former writer with the New York Times. And then you have People magazine reporter Stephen Helling with these bombshells reports based off anonymous sources from, Brian Kohlberger sliding into the DMs of the victims, and Brian Kohlberger seen at the Mad Greek restaurant. I just have a problem with all these types of reporting lately, using these sources with bombshell stories, right? Gag orders in place. How does these people why are they doing it? That's I'm wondering,
For the clicks.
Reveal the sources more instead of just like a source close to.
For the clicks. That's why you got people making up all these different fucking videos just to get the clicks so they can get the subs. I'm not interested in that kind of karma. But that's that's the age of social media. It's everybody wants those clicks. So there's gonna be news organizations just like YouTube people that are gonna fucking try and be the first one to break the story. Unfortunately, back in the day, you actually had to have 2 credits or 2 sources to go forward with information. And now you don't have to have any. You don't have to have any. You can just fucking throw it out there. But I remember the day you needed 2 sources of credible information to go public. Not no more. But that's social media. You have to understand that's what comes along with it.
You're depressing.
I'm depressed.
That's depressing. Yeah, man, you're depressing me.
Why?
Well, because that's so sad.
It's just bad karma. That's why I don't even entertain it.
Dude, okay, here's the karma thing. This is why the karma thing bothers me. Okay, I got in a car accident over a year ago. I'm fine. No worries about that. But people would react to it with, oh, that's okay. That's okay. But you know what? That's making that guy have bad karma. That's his karma. But here you go. What was my karma to draw that badness to me, right? If you tell somebody that, oh, well, they just got bad karma for hurting you, well, then that means you must have had bad karma.
Well, you gotta look at it like this. It could have been good karma. Because what if that car accident actually saved you from another potential car accident further down the road where you wouldn't be around anymore?
Oh, you're just making stuff up now.
No, that could be good karma. Like you said, everything's fine. You're good. Not saying that. You said you were in a car accident about a year ago. Don't worry, everything's fine.
Yeah. So that was all right. I think you're reaching with that, buddy. I think you're reaching.
No, there's a positive.
Kevin, he's not letting go, buddy. He's waiting for you to get off work.
Yeah. It's like getting a flat tire on the way to work. It's not bad karma.
Do you know what I like, dude? You're looking on the bright side of life, and that's cool.
You have to.
That's cool because it brings me out of what I was thinking.
You have to have you have to try and find a positive in any negative so it doesn't eat you from the inside out.
Homeostasis.
It's true. It's how I live my life. No matter what negative comes, I have to always try and find a positive. Situation from a few months ago when I was doing my show.
Yeah,
I had to turn a whole lot of negative, and I tell you what, I turned that shit into a positive, and look at the show. I fucking sourced the shit out of my information. Totally respectful. I don't report misinformation. I make not that that's what it was about, but because of certain things in the background and messages and stuff being thrown my way, it made me be a better host. It made me make sure, you know what? I'm not gonna be slipping.
Well, you also have to be careful about who comes on and what they say, you know.
Well,
Honestly, it puts a little pressure on me because I'm afraid that I could if my mouth goes faster than my brain, you know, some weirdness could slip out that draws negativity towards you, right? Whoa. Oh, hello.
boom.
Where'd you go?
That's why I made
Boom.
that. That's why.
Look at
That's
this.
why I made that. That's why I made that. Because it's like, hey.
You can't even read it. It's in cursive.
Oh yeah, I forgot people don't use cursive anymore.
I'm laughing. We can, our age group, but the teenagers and lower, they can't.
I better.
They don't know how to
Yeah,
sign their names. They don't know how to
That's
sign their
true.
names. I'm not kidding.
I
I'm
probably
not
should
kidding.
redo it. I probably
It's
should.
pretty. If you
But
were
yeah,
going
that's
for pretty,
basically. That's when I started doing this thing, is when certain comments that didn't come out of my mouth were like, yo, I'm like, I need a fucking disclaimer.
hey
So that's
CJ, are you still getting any weirdness, any weird
no,
emails from people going, I can't believe
no,
you said that?
no.
Did
Oh
that?
no.
Cool.
No. It's only when that person was on.
Okay. All right.
And
Okay.
yeah, only when that person was on. And honestly, the messages I get, a lot of it has to do with how welcoming the chat is, how they appreciate how everybody treats them, how they appreciate how they can voice their opinion and not feel like they're going to get attacked,
Nice.
that they're comfortable enough. Yeah. It's a lot of positive stuff. So, yeah, I haven't, not since, because when it just gets ridiculous when I have to answer for somebody else's shit when they should be answering for it. But
Yeah.
that shit
Well,
is
that's
what it
good that
is.
that's over. That's
Yeah.
good that that's over, right? And
Oh
you did
yeah.
become a better
Plenty
host.
Plenty over.
Yep. And so there's your positive. You became
Right.
a better host.
Yep. I had to. So I had to turn it into a positive. Yeah, because we were emailing back and forth back then, about all that stuff going on. I had to I had to figure out positives. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be better at what I do.
Hey, I just
And
wanted
then
to
we're
tell
done.
you, you've been on for 3 hours and 23 minutes.
Are you my new clock?
Sure. This
And
Phantom
at
has
least,
woke up. He's talking. Kevin has
yeah.
joined us again. Guys, give him a topic. Any topic. Just throw it out there.
No, I
Come on,
gotta
we're
be
gonna
ending the
improv.
show.
No, let's improv. Come on.
No, I gotta be ending the show.
Fine.
Doesn't mean I'm ending the night, but I'm gonna be ending this show. I'm
Are
not
you gonna
sure
go
what
over
I'm
and
doing
play
next.
games?
I might.
I want to
What?
play
Why do
LA
you think I
Noire.
was shocked? Well, it's Friday night. Sometimes on Fridays, man, I do 5 hours. It just depends.
Kevin, why are you screaming? He's screaming at us.
I'm surprised Black
Kevin!
Gizmo didn't warn him. Hey, buddy, those are all caps. No,
Maybe he didn't know.
I'm not sure. We'll see. I did get NBA
Now he
2K
does.
23.
Yeah. Who wants to watch you play a game?
It's basketball. You get to see
Okay,
CJ.
that sounded. I'm
you get
sorry.
To see
That
CJ
sounded
Evil
so
play.
bad. CJ, I'm so sorry that came out.
Maybe
See,
it.
like I sounded like
Oh,
an
I
ass, but
don't. No, he didn't.
dude, but what I mean is it would be neat to be interactive, right? That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Like I want to be playing basketball with you, so when you try to dunk the ball, I just slap it back in your face.
Oh. Well, do you have Xbox One?
No, man, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's still excited. He's screaming, "Say!"
Yeah.
Excited!
Excited.
What are you so excited about, Kevin?
We got more.
He has to go home and get ready for his show.
Yes. Good luck tomorrow, dude.
He's still at work, dude, and then he has to get ready for his show. That's so sad, Kev.
No, it's called putting in the grind. That's like me only having 20 minutes between when I get home and done doing home shit to when I can start prepping for the show.
CJ, are you eating? When
if
do
I
you
gotta,
eat?
I eat as soon as I get home, and then I eat after the show's
Oh,
over.
okay.
Yep.
I'm slap happy and came into. Oh, he's gonna mess
Oh, I
with
bet.
us.
Yeah.
Come on, mess. Go
Oh, and
ahead, start it.
he came into a mess. Big
Oh, I thought he
attack
came
and
into. No, he came in. He
big
came. Oh,
attack,
he
huh?
came into a mess. I came into him. Oh, I thought he came in to mess with us. Oh no.
Yeah, I get off at.
Mhm.
Oh wow, dude. See what I mean? We're putting that grind in for the future. It's all for the future. So it's a lot of. I mean, how long did I do a show every night? Like 3 months or 2 months? I think it was. I had 2 nights off in 2 months, and sometimes I was even doing 2 shows a day. It's about that grind. I drove 100 miles yesterday for 2 hours for supplies. Wow.
It's gonna
No,
pay off, Kevin.
don't be a troll on here, man.
Just do it, Kevin.
If you're gonna
Troll.
do, then
Troll.
just hop in the open panel if you're gonna do that. But no, I'm gonna end the show. I might get on Twitch. We'll see. If you get a notification, then you know I am. But I don't know.
To the 7
I need
people
to
who are
eat.
still here,
I'm
bless
starving.
you.
Yeah.
Just bless you. Whoever those 7 people are.
And enjoy the replay too. Yeah, I definitely need to do another show soon on the chemical spill. There's a lot of stuff we didn't even get into. Hell, a lot of emails I didn't even get to use yet from all of you guys.
Kevin doesn't want us to leave.
Oh, sorry, man. Hey, follow me on Twitch.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. I don't know. I'm gonna eat, and then I might get on here and stream that casino game on here. I might be back on YouTube streaming casino. I might even go on YouTube with the hoops. I don't know. It's just when I go from Twitch to YouTube with the games. I mean, you've watched me before, Kelt. It doesn't it get like choppy and the
Well, when
quality.
you're if I'm in YouTube trying to watch you, I think it's just too much for you to keep track of. So there's a
Yeah.
big delay. But when
Yeah.
I'm in Twitch, it's almost like you notice right away that people are talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you got Twitch or you want to download the app, all you have to do is verify with an email, and then you're good to go. You just you have to follow me though, because I have it on follower only chat. Because there's a lot. You think there's sex bots on here? There's a shit ton of sex bots on Twitch. So I have it on follower only. That way I don't
Date
have all
night.
them
Date
sex
night.
bots popping up. No, it's crazy. It gets nuts on Twitch.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I'm off till
Sure does.
Monday after today. If you want to jump on and chat about the, yeah, like when on Sunday would you be good, Kevin? If you want to chat about that, I need to make a phone call too. There's somebody from Ohio that wants me to give them a call and have them on the show.
Nice.
I think it's the person that's doing the tests with the pH levels and stuff that I'm getting emails from. But I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
call them
somebody's
tomorrow.
brother.
Yeah,
Isn't that somebody?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I got an email about somebody named Brian. Call this number. He would love to talk to me, and he would love me to call during a live show. So I'm gonna reach out
Oh, wait a minute.
tomorrow.
Wait a
Huh.
minute. That's if it really is said that way.
No, it's through
Okay. Sounds
somebody
better.
else from the channel,
Okay.
and so I
Okay.
totally trust it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna reach out to them tomorrow and see what time is cool, because I don't want to just call out of the fucking blue and interrupt a supper or some kind of, you know what I mean. I want to make sure that they're totally free. It can be, whatever. Well, yeah, if you want to hop on, we can do it Sunday night, Kevin. Here's my Twitch if you want to follow me on Twitch. On Sunday night, I'll probably be starting my show at 6 Central. Starting Sunday night shows a little earlier. So if you want to be good to go around 6 o'clock Central, I'll probably be firing it up then, and then we can go ahead and I'll do my intro, and then we'll jump right into that stuff. Or would you be good to join too, Coat, Sunday at 6 Central, or are you gonna be busy?
Probably. No,
Okay.
6 is even later for me, so that's good.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for allowing me to be up here with you. Good night
Thank
to
you. I
everybody
appreciate it.
in chat, and good night.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that sounds good. Sunday, 6 o'clock Central, if you guys wanna, and then that'll give me enough time tomorrow and some of Sunday to actually do some more research on my end too. Um, when it comes to the different documents and stuff, and yeah, we can definitely we might be able to even, if you want, Kevin. I don't know if you're in Discord or not. If you are in Discord, uh, we can always link up on there and have like a screen share type thing. If not, we can do like StreamYard offline or whatever, and do it that way too. But yeah, 6 o'clock Sunday, 6 o'clock Central. I'd expect us to be doing that show. And I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably just not be on and focus around here. Sunday morning, I might. I'm probably feeling something. Not sure yet, though. But we'll get into that. I'll put out a notification early, as always, even if it's an hour or two. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. It was nice having a little different change of pace tonight. I love talking about that case because all of us are affected by it. But man, I just see these flames, and it's just I just need a little break from it. It's upsetting. So we'll be back into it Sunday. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a peaceful and positive evening. And I might see you back on here on YouTube. I might see you on Twitch. I don't know. I'm starving, though. I'm ready to eat. Be safe, everybody. Enjoy your evening.